What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Jab Queen Boxing, and we are back. We ready. We are live, baby. Make sure you hit that like button, and thank you all for joining me today. We have plenty to talk about. This has been an interesting week, to say the least, right? But before I get started, I just wanted to make a correction to my Bud versus Canelo video. Apparently, the date has shifted from the 12th to the 13th. It's still the 13th. However, I guess the venue has changed. Um, they apparently don't have a venue now, or it hasn't been established or given to us. So, as I get the information, I may or may not share it because it may change again, based on Turkey and his behavior in true Turkey fashion. He just doesn't know how to work out logistics or business before making public announcements. So there's that. I'm not sure who saw the kickoff press conference for the double main event scheduled to take place July 12th with Edgar Berlanga, Herman Shiraz and Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. But I'm going to go ahead and play the clip of what I want us to talk about.
Result of this card will affect our next card. The eye of Shakur is in tank. The eye of Zabida in big fights in Mexico. The eye of the result of Berlanga and Shiraz is in Canelo. This is big card. This is important card. This will affect boxing. And now, in front of everyone, we are ready. We are ready to do big fights. We have a big card in August. We have a big card in October. I am talking with Matchroom, with Eddie Hearn to do Boots and to Malivu. We are discussing now for big fights for Garcia and Haney. And let's go back to this card. This card is very important to me. Shakur, Zubaida, Shiraz, Berlanga. The result of this card will affect the future. This is important card and the historical card for the boxing. Shakur, one of the greatest fighter bound now in the world. Shiraz is the ambassador, and Shakur, both of them is the ambassador of Riyadh season. Shiraz looking to have a big performance in America and watching the result of Crawford and Canelo. Berlanga want to put very big statement in the first card with us. Zubaida have a lot of options. We have the Latinos night. We have a big fight preparing now in Mexico. This is important card. This is important card. And the last request for Mr. Firzachi, this belt, we change it. We now want the new version, please.
Talk about it. Okay, so I'm sure y'all all heard that bunch of bullshit that Turkey expressed. I wanted to kind of break that down. So and then, when I open up the panel, we can all talk about it together. But the eye of Shakur is in tank. I am not sure why these people, I'm talking about Shakur and Turkey, continue to clout chase Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, from my understanding, I thought that Tank made it abundantly clear that he isn't interested in working with Eddie Hearn or Turki Al-Sheikh. I mean, in my opinion, the only reason that they have Shakur over there is to lure Tank over there. I mean, obviously, Turkey values Tank over, these other guys. It shows because whose name was number one on the Ring magazine? Gervonta Tank Davis. And then you had Keyshawn, and then you had Shakur. So, I mean, and since Shakur and Keyshawn are obviously refusing to fight each other, they have some sort of weird relationship. I don't know what that's all about. The only attraction, I'm assuming, is Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, what I took away from those comments, I just have to say this. I feel like Shakur has interlocked his career with Tanks. And I've been told that, this is the way that it's done now, attach yourself to a star. But like I said, I suspect the only use Turkey really has for Shakur is to try and lower Trevante Tank Davis to that side. I mean, the proof is in the promotion. I mean, it's in the pudding. This is the second time Shakur appears on an undercard. Although Turkey, he says he's his ambassador. Eddie just faked the fit that, Shakur was number 3. He says he's arguably the best fighter in the world. Well, riddle me this. If that is true, why do, you have Shakur as your ambassador, but he's number 3 on the pound for pound, not even number 2, but number 3. And number 1 was Gervonta Tank Davis. So, I mean, that tells you what he really thinks. And I suspect that they will continue to clout chase him, put Shakur on undercards, because, like I said, the only value Shakur has to them would be versus a Gervonta Tank Davis. Then, obviously, as you heard him, he said what did he say? The eye of Zepeda hangs on, I guess, his performance. And then he has some other things. I guess they're going to try and corner the market on Mexican holidays for him, or whatever the case may be with Zepeda. Berlanga and Perez for Canelo. I'm assuming he wants to do some sort of rematch for him. That I'm not sure of. Or maybe they're looking to get Shiraz to Canelo, but I'm assuming that's a part of this 4-fight deal that they have with Canelo. Outside of Bud, if the Bud fight ever manifests, then possibly that's what they're talking about. Or a Berlanga rematch, for Canelo. And then he's looking to make Boots versus Tio. Now, that was the only thing that I found extremely interesting, only because y'all know when I said this on my last live, I'm looking for somebody to whoop Tio ass. I'm almost to the point where I want to pay for it myself, like just to get it done, because I'm sick of his racist antics. And I don't really understand why it is that he has to behave this way. And I know that he said that it, is for promotion. So when he tried to retract his hard ER and say that he said, "Where's the liquor at?" I actually went to that live. It was a Wednesday. I believe it was Wednesday. I was on the live when he tried to walk back the statements, trying to portray himself as the victim. And it's funny that when Crawford pressed him, it was for promotion, but then I started thinking, well, I don't remember these racist antics when you fought Claggett, when you fought Loma. Only when you fight African-American fighters do you feel like this type of behavior is warranted for promotion. So I just felt like that was a bunch of bullshit. He did do an interview with Fight Hype, and he said, this fight with Boots, it's coming, it's next. So I think that they're pretty much trying to force these fights like they're doing with the Canelo versus Bud fights, because like I stated before, Canelo really doesn't even seem interested in this fight against Terrence Bud Crawford. But it seems that Turkey is just interested in forcing fights. Of course, fights that no one asked for, and then fights that the fighters themselves don't even want to participate in. So I'm not sure. Of course, Eddie Hearn, when he gets off his knees occasionally and tries to do his job, maybe he will try and sell this to Boots. But I will shelf the Brian Norman Jr. fight just to watch Boots whoop Tio ass real quick for me. But that's a fight that we definitely do need. But back to Tio and his racist antics that he only uses for promotion when he is said or maybe getting ready to fight an African-American fighter. Tio, now I'm not sure how true it is that you married a flight attendant and then she ran off with a black football player on you. Again, I don't know how true that is, but I did hear that, in these streets several times. You mentioned, however, that none of the companies wanted to work with him anymore. Like I said, he was on his live just crying wolf and everything else. He was saying how none of the companies wanted to work with him anymore. He was saying, you know, that he, fulfills his contracts, all this other kind of crap, right? But I went back to when he's still with Top Rank, but do you guys remember that span of time that Tio was not fighting and he was trying to sue them to get out of his contract? Well, he has to fulfill the contract. He was turning down fights also. So it's like, now what? All the coverage on you has been negative, all at your own hands, no one else. And to all the people that I saw on his live that were in support of his nonsense and his racist antics, fuck you. Straight like that. The amount of support that he got for that garbage was ridiculous. I was so furious, I had to click off of that live. It was absolutely ridiculous. But back to the fight that could possibly happen. He said that he was working with Eddie Hearn. This is Turkey, of course, I'm talking about. He said that he was working with Eddie Hearn trying to make this fight. So hopefully, and then he said something about maybe August in Saudi. That's not going to be a good idea. They need to do that fight in America so that all the Boots fans can go and see this live and in person. Like I said, they are actively looking to make the fights, possibly. So we will keep that abreast, and we will keep an eye on what's going on with that. I really do want to see that fight because, like I said, Tio has just been getting on my nerves with all of his foolishness since he's been doing all of this nonsense. But the other thing I wanted to talk about today was Mr. Bill Haney. I'm not sure if anybody watched the interview that he did with Ariel Helwani, and then he did another interview with Cigar Talk, I think like 2 days ago. But I mean, it was basically the same conversation. He basically was saying, he was proud of Devin's performance, that this is a new and improved Devin. This is, I guess, what we can look forward to moving forward, his fighting style, because he was getting so much backlash from the public about not being able to, dodge a left hook or, his foot movement, whatever the case may be. The problem is Bill. I have settled on that, and I'm going to stand on that. The problem with Devin's career is his father. Shane Mosley said that that's not the game plan they worked on. So obviously there was a separate game plan that Devin implemented in that ring that him and Bill were the only ones privy to. Now, I'm all for you trying to protect yourself, taking a tune-up fight, but now I'm hearing whispers that you may be looking for another tune-up fight before fighting Ryan again, or that you need another one. And in my mind, wasn't Jose Ramirez supposed to be that tune-up fight for you? Wasn't that supposed to be the fight that got your feet wet and reaccustomed to I guess, the ring? You didn't fight at a full 147, so I'm not exactly sure what weight class you're going to campaign. I suspect you need to move up anyway, but hey, but just overall, in the interviews, he was trying to make it appear as if nothing was wrong with Devin, that everything was fine, that, a win is a win, which I have expressed before that is such a mediocre mindset. It's ridiculous. And sometimes it doesn't matter how I guess winning isn't all that matters, is what I'm trying to say, because sometimes it matters how you look when you win, and it matters how you look when you lose. Like if you lose to a dog, for instance, David Morrell lost to David Benavidez. I don't look at David Morrell now like he's a bum. Are you kidding me? You can't look at somebody like that if they're fighting the toughest competition in their weight class. However, Devin appears shell-shocked. Bill is in denial, or he just doesn't want the public to be aware of how shell-shocked his son is. But I'm looking at a regression, definitely not progress. The boy, I'm not really sure where he goes from here. Maybe another soft touch or two to get his confidence level back up, because it's clearly mental what Devin is dealing with. But if you have somebody like your father in the Ariel Hawani interview, he asked him plain and simple, at home when you guys are alone, has he expressed to you any sort of like, does he seem unsure of himself? Oh no, he's great, he's amazing. I mean, we expect Bill to lie anyway, but are you lying to just us, or are you lying to your son? Because I know that you see what we all saw. And shout out to Dub Boxing. Yes, I heard that too. I heard that Ryan wants another tune up. I'm not sure what these guys are doing. They need to just get in there and fight, as far as I'm concerned. But Bill, like I said, has been on his explanation tour, or his Fantasy Island tour, trying to convince the public that what they saw was the sweet science of boxing. I completely disagree. I'm not sure where Devin goes from here, but what I saw was definitely not the sweet science of boxing. It looked more like, I said, like Devin was shell shocked, and that he needs some sort of maybe another soft touch. Definitely, I don't think that he's ready to be back in there with another power puncher. Not at this stage. He needs to get his confidence back. I didn't see confidence in that ring on May 2nd. So that's just where we are with that. The Bill explanation tour, like I said, continues. Now, I'm not sure, like I said, who saw that whole press conference. Thank God Berlanga kind of livened it up. And I want to get you guys' take on who you guys think if after who do you think I guess should get the Canelo prize? Maybe Shiraz, or do you guys want to look at a rematch with Berlanga and Canelo? I'm really not interested in that, only because I think Canelo, didn't he 12 zip him or something like that? So I really don't want to see that again. And Shiraz, I'm not really sure what he can bring to the table as far as Canelo. I know that that's pretty much what Turkey is angling for, since Shiraz is an ambassador. So, we'll see how that shapes up. And we can also talk about the upcoming fights as well, because I know we have Caleb planned at the end of the month. The Charlo was on that card facing Thomas Lamana, I believe. And then after that, we have Keyshawn Davis coming up. But if anybody has any thoughts on why it is that Turkey continues to say Gervonta Tank Davis's name without any communication from his team whatsoever about that fight being next on Tank's radar. I would be very interested in knowing, unless I'm just not in the know and I'm completely out of the loop, because last time I checked, Gervonta Tank Davis was set to rematch Lamont Roach, and after that, nothing has been talked about. So I don't really know, but I'm gonna drop the link and see who wants to come up and maybe clarify some things for me, or help me understand something at the very least. I think I'm doing this right. Hold on. I think that's right. Okay. Yeah, because I just don't understand it. And maybe, just maybe, I mean, I'm looking forward to this fight with Zapata and Shakur, because I want to see how he performs. A lot of people are saying that they think Zapata is going to win. I'm just not sure. Hey, KQ.
Hey, let me cut this off. Okay, hold on. Let me cut this off on you. Okay. Hey. Okay, there we go. What's going on?
What's up? How you doing?
All right. Now, you want to see the chat? All you gotta do is hit comments. That what you trying to do?
It's not showing them.
It's not? Oh, okay. You ain't got it on private, do you?
I don't think so. Anyway, I got my YouTube open too, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. What's going on? How you doing?
Okay. I'm doing good. And I'm sure you saw that you watched the press conference, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and so you saw that interview. I mean, well, the call that Turkey made to them.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah, Turkey, they really don't need Shakur. Shakur, now you thinking different than me. because I think Shakir went over there so to make the fight harder for him and Tank to fight. I really think he don't want to fight this dude. That's just my thinking. I could be wrong, but he knows that Tank don't mess around with Eddie or on Turkey. He knows that, and he knows that Tank is the A side. So for him to say in an interview to come on over with us and let's make this fight, he's totally wrong, and he knows that. He's not dumb. He knows he's a B side. So why would he say that? Unless he know that Tank like, okay, yeah, whatever, But no, that's not gonna happen. And now, I think you said something about Canelo Alvarez. Now, Shiraz, I want to see how you look because he was coming on strong when Turkey was pretty much trying to tell him he's 2 rounds behind, and Edgar Berlanga, he fought Canelo better than I thought he would. Put it that way. And he's getting better. But I'd rather see Shiraz and Malenko just let's see how they look, and then the winner should get Canelo.
So okay, so they are fighting for the Canelo prize. That's what it sounded like to me when he said that. That they're, I guess, basically auditioning to see who gets Canelo. I guess the winner of them gets Canelo.
Okay.
So where does I guess Bud fit in? Is he first and then thereafter? I mean, this is a mess.
Yeah. See, Turkey and Shakir had it right on the Breakfast Club. He doesn't know anything. You know what? I can't see the chat either. He doesn't know anything about making a fight, how to set up a fight, how to match make. All he is a fan of the sport. That's all, with a lot of money. That's all. And that's what Shakir knows. That's why he said what he said about he needs to bring in more people to pretty much help him along to make certain fights, whatever. Because every fight he made flopped or didn't look so good. Now the fighters, they out there fighting and they're not even trying. They're not even trying to put on I'm not saying put on a show, but entertain or to try their best, to fight the hardest or leave it all in the ring. When the last time you see a fighter leave it all in the ring? And I'm old school, and these guys today, they're too damn soft. They are too soft. And if you paying them all this money, of course they're going to be soft. So they're just going to try to ease on by to the next fight and then the next fight until they start getting their pay low. Now, Devin Haney, I'm with Oscar De La Hoya. At first, I said, when you're young, then you pretty much got time to pretty much get yourself together with the PTSD and stuff. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but now, Devin, I think he should have got right back in the ring right away. He shouldn't have waited a year and not fighting. What you call it? I forgot his name. He should have fought him right away. Sandu Martin. He should have fought Sandu Martin right away, but he didn't do that. He pretty much dropped the belt, whatever, and went on and took off a year. Now look how he looked. He was petrified. That's what, of course, Eddie Hearn said. He was petrified in there, and he gonna keep on being petrified until he get in there and fight like he used to fight. If he can do that, everybody can't bounce back. Like we said yesterday on my show, Tommy Hearns, he did it though, but he got right back in there in less than 90 days, and he kept winning and winning. So sometimes you have to jump right back in the barrel. You gotta go right back in the danger zone. And then the longer you stay out, the more it could be rolling through your head. Oh man, I don't want to get knocked out, so I'm gonna stay out the way. And that's how he was looking.
And that's what I think I was trying to get at. I think that he stayed out of the ring a little too long because there was really no reason for him to stay out for what did he say, like 8, 9 months? There was really no reason
Yeah.
for that. He should have took he should have taken a tune-up fight a while ago. You know what I'm saying? While Ryan was suspended, he should have gotten his tune-up fight out the way. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just letting y'all cook before I say my piece. You already know how I feel.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I'm
Isaiah.
kind of interested. Yeah.
I was just last night. I don't know if you remember when I had called out when I had said during that press conference I heard Turkey call Shakur a Riyadh ambassador
Yeah.
and Shiraz a Riyadh ambassador. So I really don't know what they got going for Shakur, but I don't like it. I saw an interview today where Shakur was talking about, I want to say, I think it was when he was talking about Tank, how it was disrespectful to the sport.
Yeah, he made a comment that if Tank retires or fights Jake Paul, I think he said if he fights Jake Paul instead of him, then it's disrespectful to the sport.
You see, I don't know what Shakur is talking about because one, Shakur's only has 4 fights at 135, and those fights were okay. I mean, at most, I want to say, when he knocked out not Catilia, that's it, and Padley. But do we really even count Padley?
Right.
I mean, if he really wants to compare his resume to Tank Davis, I believe Tank got 10 active champions. Well, he had 10 former champions on his resume that he beat. And he was the first to beat Pedraza, which everyone seems like they're running through. Like you see when Keyshawn, I don't know if you caught that video of Keyshawn a while back when he was
And he
saying,
said the Tank weight drain Pedraza. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
oh my gosh. But then he went as far as saying, who has Tank fought? He don't got no Sugar Ray. I think he said Sugar Ray Robinson on his record or Pernell Whitaker. But in my head, I'm like, Keyshawn, you went against Pedraza, who Tank beat up a long time ago. And people really credit him for that. Like, yeah, I get it. Pedraza might be a gatekeeper, but is he really that good? At right now, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm glad that they put Berlanga over Shakur for this event.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. Actually, I said you were going out for a second. I said we're gonna get to that too. Shout out to D1 in the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. But go ahead, Isaiah, because we're gonna trickle into that too. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say for now. I'm gonna be listening. I'll jump back on later on.
Yeah. I'll jump back on to the time.
Okay, no worries.
You know, you got it on private. That's why you can't see the chat.
Yeah, I just looked at that too, and I can't change it while I'm on the live, so I'll just change it later. That's fine. I got my YouTube open, so it's
good. Okay.
Yeah, nah, Jab Queen. I'll be in the comments. You keep cooking. I'm gonna be tuning in.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much. Yeah. So to what actually Isaiah just alluded to, which is the next point that I was gonna go into about Berlanga being the headliner. And they ran into Clarissa Shields, and she actually gave her opinion on why she thinks that Shakur is the headliner. And I just felt a cold wind come in here. Jesus, I think it's somebody with a cape on, ready to start capping. Oh, yes, it is. It is. First of all, Big Dog Willie, did you check in at the lobby? Because I don't see no comments from you in the chat. Did you check in the lobby?
Did you look in the chat?
I'm looking in the chat now. I didn't see you. I about to say you got to check in at the lobby, honey. You stop and speak to the people. You don't get in the elevator and come to the penthouse. You stop.
I spoke in the chat.
Oh, okay. You don't just
you
get in
see
the
me?
elevator and come to the penthouse, honey. You got to stop.
No, I spoke in the chat.
With security. Okay.
I was promoting the fight.
Oh, please. What can I do for you, Big Dog Willie?
So did somebody just say that they're happy Shakur didn't get the headline? The bigger fight?
Jesus, we just got there. You must have heard Shakur's name and came flying in here with your cape.
Oh no, I've been listening for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
I was just busy. You've been talking about Shakur, but you've been talking Shakur for a while, so it's not just a few minutes
It's not
ago.
true. I covered Bill Haney. I did cover Shakur first, and then I covered Bill Haney after I covered Turkey. So you really, whatever. The
Turkey
bottom
and
line is,
Shakur and Turkey. That's what I heard.
okay.
And then Bill Haney at the end.
Okay.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I said, did I hear that? I mean, that's real hate. Because if you really think that Berlanga and Rozzy, whatever his name is a bigger fight than Shakur and Zepeda, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay. Well, you know the reason behind that, correct?
Oh, I know, because that's Turkey's boy. I already know that, so I'm not even tripping about that. But just to say that, we all know that's not true. So I mean, unless Celeste hating. So I mean, that's what it comes down to.
If that's the stance that you're going to take, Big Dog, well, then you have to say Turki Al-Sheikh is hating too.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Yeah, he's hating. He's showing favoritism like he always does. So it's not really hate. He's just that's my boy. I don't care how bad or how good the fight is. He's gonna headline. That's basically what he's saying.
So, Big Dog Willie, let me ask you a question, because I know a lot of y'all like to tout around Shakur's resume, wear it around y'all neck as if it's a gold chain, right? If Shakur, because I was getting to, before you came up here with your cape on, I was getting into what Clarissa Shields said about Shakur, how he's the more accomplished boxer. And that seems to be the sentiment that I hear from a lot of Shakur's fans, that he's the more accomplished boxer out of a lot of the other boxers, because Eddie Hearn also made an allusion to that as he was pleading his case for Shakur to be at number one. So if these things all are true, which I will concede that every last thing is true. He is more accomplished than Gervonta Tank Davis, than a maybe Keyshawn Davis, and an Edgar Berlanga. Why is that not translating into star power? That's my concern for Shakur.
Besides, he's not. I think you guys look missing what star power is and accomplishments or accolades. He's not a star power fighter. He's not fun to look at. You know, I'm a huge Shakur fan. He's not fun to look at. I can't admit that. So that's what I can say. That doesn't, just because you're accomplished and like, remember the San Antonio Spurs, they're a hella boring to watch, but they won hella championships. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. So you get that from me.
And I get that. But then, okay, so if that is the truth, which, you know, we're not in disagreement that he's the more accomplished boxer and he's not, you know, he's not exciting to watch, then don't you think that it would be more beneficial for him to accept his position as the B-side in certain situations and not try to haggle over certain, I guess, I don't know, amenities or certain things, just in order to get the opportunities to become, you know what I'm saying, a more star powered fighter?
He's talking. That's what he does. He talks. That's what he does. He twitters and talks. Double T's. That's what he does. So my whole thing is this. These fighters, is not just him, there's other fighters that do it. They do that. And that's what they do. He's going to try, however he does it, he's going to try to make the most money as he can. He's going to say whatever he said so he can get more money. I mean, but it takes a performance that a fan favorite performance for him to get that money. So he's trying to figure out how to do it without doing that fan favorite performance. I don't really trip about what these cats say unless they're being racist or being ridiculous. I don't really trip about what they say out in the public, because I know that when I watch them fight, that's why I want to see them fight.
And I think that's my problem with Shakur. What he says in public doesn't match his fighting style. So, you know, that's what I think a lot of complaint comes from people who aren't really enamored with Shakur. Because if he was just honest about his situation with his hands and, you know, him not, you know, just being a defensive wizard, then I don't think that many people would have such an issue with him. It's when he presents to us that he's something that he's not. I think that's why a lot of people get upset with him. I understand that. Go ahead. I'm going to speak for me. I'm not going to bring anybody else into this. I'm going to just say for me personally, I feel like that's a lot of the reason why I don't gravitate to him.
Yeah, I understand. I completely understand. There's a lot of people, my coworker and my friend doesn't like how Shakur fights or like him in that way. But I like the way how Shakur fights. I mean, he does think up the joint sometimes, but his skill level, his boxing IQ, his defense, that's next level shit. Not too many people in sport and boxing right now is doing that. So I like that. Just like Tank has that knockout power, not too many people are doing that. So I can see how these guys are, when I say elite, they're elite fighters because they're doing things that very few other boxers are doing. So that's why when you guys, I wouldn't say you guys, that's why when a lot of people say Tank, and I'm putting Tank in this too because I'm just gonna be fair. When Tank can do this, Tank get exposed, stuff like that. Tank has knockout power. Tank has something special. So I mess with you guys when I say he's gonna fight Tank. Um, whatever his name is, Jake Paul. But I think you guys be riding him a little bit too hard. But that's how I think about it. And I mean, it is what it is. And I think maybe you guys think I ride your core too hard. But I'm not going to get all upset and get all pissy about it. I just want you guys to know that hopefully the fight happens between those two. Um, hopefully it happens sooner than later. I don't think it's going to happen this year or
Yeah, it's
even.
not happening this year. Do you agree with him though that if Tank does not fight him, it's disrespectful to the sport?
Well, if he fights, he does. If he fights Jake Paul, that's the problem. If he fights Jake Paul, that's disrespectful, and that's what he was saying. He wasn't saying nothing else. He fights Jake Paul, that's disrespectful,
To
and
the sport.
huh?
To the sport.
Yeah, because he got a lot of food. Tank got people in front of him. He don't he can't. I mean, just going around and fight Jake Paul, that'd be horrible. And there's no excuse, you guys, to take maniacs or whatever you guys want. There's no excuse for that at all. None.
Um, I mean, he can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He's clearly the face of boxing, and he can fight whoever he pleases. But I don't know if you saw the interview that Coach Kenny did with Mill City in regards to what Shakur needs to do again to, I guess, make that fight more in demand. So, putting on a spectacular performance against Zepeda. Do you think that that's part of the reason that that fight hasn't manifested yet, because of Shakur's last performances have
Is
just
that is that
that
if that's the case, that's a sad excuse because Tank should want to fight the other champions in his division, not because they look spectacular or whatever. No, it doesn't matter how boring Shakur is. If he wants to be who he wants to be, he has to fight the other champions. Plain simple. I guess Shakur case for not wanting to fight Keyshawn. How can Shakur become great if he can't fight Keyshawn? That makes no sense. But Tank can't. But Tank don't have no. He has to do the same thing. He can't be like, well, he got to show this great performance. Nah, he's the other champion.
I think that some of you guys forget that Tank said he's really not interested in the belt. He doesn't really give a damn about that.
Oh, that's no. But that come on now. I don't care what Tank says.
Well,
I mean,
he's
they're his fans.
I
His
mean,
fans. So what is it? So what is it? Is it Tank trying to have his fan friendly fights? Tank trying to make money, or Tank is going for greatness? What is he trying to do?
well, he said it several times that he's about his money. Did you not? I mean, he said that several
Well,
times.
go ahead and fight Jake Paul then.
I
If
mean,
that's how he wants to be, go fight Jake
well,
Paul.
ain't that the fight that you want? You say it every day.
I say to mess with. I say to mess with you guys because you guys so. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. I say it to mess with you guys because you guys are so on it. Like, oh, he's not gonna fight Jake Paul. I know. I talked to his manager, and the skies told me, and Tank is representing. No. If he's about money, go fight Jake Paul. I'm not gonna say anything except for I told you so.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can't wait to say that. So I know that's true. But okay, so you basically you're saying that he needs to go through. He has to fight Shakur. He has to fight Keyshawn. All the guys in his I mean, Okay, I understand why you guys are saying that because you guys respect the belts, and I completely understand that. I get it. But if the man is about his money and he's looking at it as it's not going to be a lucrative fight for him, how can y'all be upset with that?
Because the way that his fans talk about him, saying he is the best, can prove it.
Is he not fighting tougher competition than Shakur?
If he's the best, prove it. You have to fight the other best.
Big Dog, I think we're going to have to disagree because I'm of the belief that just
Oh,
because you have a belt does not necessarily mean you're the best. There's a lot of bums with belts, yo.
no, you can't use that. You cannot use that, Ty. Please don't use that because you just seem like you make that sound like an excuse for Tank not to fight those guys.
I don't have an excuse. I think he washes all of them. I'm not making an excuse. I'm
Then
just
why
saying.
can't he fight them?
I just told you why. If he's about his money and he doesn't see enough money in it, why would he? That's why. That's
Then
why
that puts
he said before.
that puts speculation. That puts speculation on how that's making it seem like he's not confident. To me,
How so? How so?
because you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight the best.
I don't think he's in the business of giving out money. If you ain't bringing nothing in, that means he's.
That's a terrible excuse. I don't rock with that.
I don't think it's an excuse though, Big Dog Willie. I'm telling
It
you.
is an excuse. It is an excuse. If you guys consider him the best, he watches everybody. He has to fight the best.
So you don't think that he's fought tougher competition than Shakur has?
That's not. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Shakur is a champion. Shakur is considered one of the best in the division.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Do you agree that Gervonta Tank Davis has fought tougher competition?
He been in the game longer, yes, but
so
he is not. Hold on. But he has the best in front of him. He has Keyshawn. He has Shakur. I don't know what Loma's doing, but he has other fighters out there.
We're taking a nap in a grandpa nursing home. But what you were saying?
That's what I'm saying. He has to fight the best. To people, if it's only I can't listen to you, I can't hear anybody who's gonna say he watches everybody, but he want to make more money, so you don't have to fight him. That makes no sense.
I don't think that we're speaking the same language, Big Dog Willie, because
I think we are. That sounds like an excuse to me for him not to fight people.
If you're admitting that he's fought tougher competition, what would a Shakur Stevenson be?
His best competition?
Wouldn't that be light work?
His best competition?
How so? If he's fought tougher competition, how would that be his best competition?
Tougher. Who said it? He had he fight tougher competition. He fought. Okay, so now you're trying to. You don't play this game with me. Don't play this game with me. Don't say, oh, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2. Hold on. Didn't Roach just lost to somebody? Shakur whooped his ass, but he had a draw with Tank. He had a draw with Tank. So how would that? But if we're going to do that, we can break down everybody's resume and say who beat who the triangle theories. We can do all of that. Shakur is one of the best at 135. So is Keyshawn. He has to fight those two to consider the best of this era in that division. And simple. That's simple.
Money Brown, what's up?
What's going on, Queen? Big Dog, what's going down?
What's up?
This the thing, right? In this era right now, in this day and age, Tank is telling y'all what he want to do, right? He's saying, like he told y'all he was going to call out Jake Paul after the Lamont Roach fight, right? It comes down to the situation of, I understand what Big Dog Willie's saying and both of y'all saying, like, when you look at Tank, but one thing we can't do, Big Dog, we can't say that Tank got to fight Shakur and Keyshawn, right? Because I don't crip for the brother shit. They all have to fight each other as well. Keyshawn said he'll fight Shakur long as the money right. They got to fight each other. Now,
I said that.
The situation is like Tank's career is not over. So when a Jake Paul come into the mix, it's going to be about the money. Which I don't even know if they go sanction that fight or not. I don't even know if they could sanction that shit, unless it got to be a exhibition about some things.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Tank, he's saying he won't out the game. We don't know if you fight Jake Paul and if the money right, Tank probably do walk away from the sport. We just don't know what he's going to do. But right now, as we stand, him being the world champion at 135 division, And being a man at 135, and you got the other champions at 135, um, people can't get mad at Shakur for wanting a tank fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, people saying the way he's going about it is not showing that he really want to fight him. I believe that he really want to fight him. Other people might believe that he don't want to fight him. You know what I mean? Like the Queen said, the way he talk and things of that nature, sometimes his ass do cap to an extent to where we know that shit ain't true that he's talking about. But at the same time, I'm not pissed off at him for, saying Tank name things of that nature. But Tank been saying that, he about the money now, right? When you accomplish these things, you become a three-division world champion and things of that nature, shit, you do start looking at the money. You feel me? It's like, all right, I'm all about the money now. And people can get pissed off at that and things of that nature. But at this point where they stand and a bag with, we talking about Jake Paul and Tank, he knows shit that's gonna make, man, probably 100 million. Who knows what that fight gonna gross? So he's not gonna turn down that over nobody. You feel me? He don't give a damn what no fans think. He don't give a fuck about no belts. He don't give a fuck about none of that. If that money is sitting there for him and they can make that happen, he go take it. He go take it, bro. And I'm not gonna be pissed off at him because, like I say, I see what the game is now and things of that nature. To the fact of, yes, I want to see him and Shakur Stevenson fight, but I also understand that this is a motherfucking life changing bag right here. He's not turning that down if it take place. So people gonna be pissed off and gonna be mad on both sides.
This is, I think, my and what's up, Big Dre? How you doing, Big Dre? You muted, I guess. Which one is hello? All right, Big Dre, go out and come back in, because I don't know what's going on with your situation. But here's my thing, Big Dog Willie, and I mean you alluded to it, so I'm glad that you are obviously logical and realistic. My problem comes when Gervonta Tank Davis has to fight the damn world and other fighters get to pick and choose who they want to fight. That I have a problem with. Like, I mean, you said that you're not okay with it, but there are a lot of his fans that think it's okay that him and Keyshawn are deciding not to fight each other, but wants Tank to fight both of them.
The reason why I said that is because his fans think Tank is the best in the division, and I'm saying prove it.
So he got to prove it by fighting Shakur and Keyshawn, but they don't have to prove it by fighting each other.
I did not listen. I did not say that. I did not say that. I said if he said he's the best in the division, fight one of them. Shakur considered second best in the division. Keyshawn's third. I don't know where Loma's at, but Loma's somewhere else. But those three are the best in the division. If he's the best in the division, just like the old school days, fight him. And if fans say he's the best and he watches everybody, fight him. That's plain and simple.
I think that they need to fight each other and stop worrying about Gervonta Tank Davis. Like, I get where you're coming from, but I think that I get a little annoyed when all I hear is Tank got to fight this person to prove who he is, to prove this, to prove that, when he's fought the tougher competition out of the three of them. He has fought one of the other kings that were labeled the kings. In that division at that time when they were calling them the four kings, he has fought one. So it doesn't really seem to me. And then Devin and Shakur never fought each other. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn and Shakur refused to fight each other. So it's like it all hangs on Tank's back. And I think that that's what I mostly have a problem with.
I think those guys don't really. Okay, Shakur been wanting to fight Zepeda for that was his mandatory,
Yeah,
and Zepeda been ducking him for like 2 years.
I wouldn't say all that.
For real. But then, since he came up to 135, after he got that belt, Zepeda been missing in action. So I would just want to say, Hank, like you guys, I'm saying what you guys are saying. You say he watches everybody. He has to fight him. That's it. I don't know what more. Muhammad Ali didn't say I watches everybody, but I don't want to fight Joe Frazier, or I don't want to fight George Foreman. So on, so on, so on, so on, so on.
But Big Dog Willie, Shakur ain't fought nobody neither, though. But y'all are all on Tank's back. Shakur ain't fought nobody. Keyshawn ain't really fought nobody. So
I think
hanging on Tank.
But Shakur's okay. This is what I want to say. Shakur has called him out. How much you think he's not calling him out? How much think he's not serious? He called him out.
Running in the other direction, though, big dog. Really?
What is Tank doing?
He went to the Eddie Hearn protection program.
Okay.
After he quote unquote called him out, he entered the witness protection program.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, Ty.
Salute, gentlemen. Salute, Fight Sports. Salute, bro. Cam, Big Dre. What's up?
What up? Yeah.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
No, what's good, y'all? What's good? What's good?
You guys mute up real quick. Go ahead, Fight Sport.
Yeah, nobody's denying that Shakur's made dumb mistakes. Like no fighter is 100% in the right, but if you're saying that because Shakur's made dumb mistakes, that excuses Tank, like that's like me, because everyone knows I'm probably the biggest fan of Lomachenko there is. That's like me making excuses for Lomachenko not fighting Tank last year or Shakur the year before that. Like he did duck the fights, but I don't want to use that. I don't want fans to make excuses for Loma. Like I don't want people to make excuses for any fighter. So just because one fighter's made a few bad mistakes, it doesn't excuse everybody else. And also, one of the reasons Tank gets criticized a lot more is because he's been champion for longer than everyone.
You said what?
He's been champion at lightweight longer than Keyshawn, longer than Shakur, longer than Devin, so that's why fans are frustrated. I'm not making excuses for any fighter, including my favorites, but because he's been champion for longer than them, he gets criticized a lot more.
Well, let me say this: you can't say Shakur made a mistake for going to get a bag. Like that's what we're not gonna do. Like you saying he made a mistake. Him going the Eddie Hearn route, because a lot of people like to shut for going that route. Him going the Eddie Hearn route, that's his choice. You know what I mean? Like either some people go sign to a promoter, some people not go sign to a promoter. He felt like Eddie Hearn route was a bag for him to feed his family, and that's the route he went. Right? It's not like when he signed to Eddie Hearn, it wasn't like he signed his fucking life away or like he was over there for the rest of his life. Because now he's away from Eddie Hearn. So it's not like he made a bad mistake. He went and got some money with Eddie Hearn, like all other fighters do. A lot of fighters go this way, go that way. You understand what I'm saying? So he's still in a good position to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. It's gonna come down to what Tank wants. At the end of the day, it's always gonna come down to what Tank wants, because he's the A side, like everybody say. He is the A side. So it's about who he want to fight. All Shakur can say is, I want to fight Tank. I want to fight Tank. They can put it out there. They can put it in the universe and scream it until they fucking face turn blue. It's all going to come down to Gervonta Tank Davis and what he want to do. You understand what I'm saying? And by him saying a bigger bag with a Jake Paul, that's what he's looking at, a bag with Jake Paul.
These niggas stay capping, man.
Who's talking about what?
Here's what it is. All these niggas, all this talking about Shakur calling out Tank. He calling out Tank. Cool. He calling out Tank. But all you niggas know that nigga had the opportunity to get that Tank fight. So let's not go past that opportunity that he had. You guys want to keep talking about all this talk. When it was time to turn that yapping into some action, what that nigga do? He ran his little soft ass over the matchroom, man. So quit all this old goofy shit.
Hold on, wait a minute. First of all, bro, you come up here with an attitude. You can cut that shit out.
Hey, man, shut up, nigga. This ain't your panel. Nigga, I come up here however I want, man. Second of all,
nigga, the man can do what the fuck he want to do. He went to sign with Eddie Hearn.
Exactly. He did what he wanted to do. He signed with Matchroom, nigga. So quit.
Now he's not with Eddie Hearn. Hold on. Yeah, because you can come up with attitude, man.
Everybody's Shakur ducking the opportunity, man. That's what happened.
Ain't no
ducked this opportunity and got all you niggas over here capping and caping for this nigga. Man, cut it out.
I'm not Cash. Cash. I'm not talking Cash.
Hold on, bro. Because niggas come up with.
Hold on, y'all gotta chill with all of that. We're not doing none of that, okay? Just calm down and talk to them like I got some damn sense.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
No, that's this corny ass nigga come up here with talking about some captain and all this when niggas up here talking civilized. These niggas come up here like they got like something stuck up their ass. Ain't no capping going on. That nigga can go sign with who he wants. First of all, nigga, ain't no capping for no nigga.
Alright, y'all gotta chill. I'm gonna put you in the back real quick so you can calm down.
Nah, put that nigga.
Big dog.
Cash, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't have more people on the stage.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't know how you keep having this dishonest conversation with these niggas that can't just admit that this
Cash
nigga
crypto,
Dutch.
calm the fuck
Hey man,
down.
I'm not
Why
even
you coming up
talking
here
to you,
talking
man.
shit?
Be quiet. I'm
Everybody,
talking to
everybody was
the
doing
Gab
fine
kid
before
right
you
now.
brought your
Shut
ass
your
up in
little
here.
soft ass up, man.
Everybody was doing
See
fine
what I'm
before
talking
you
about?
brought your wild
Emotions,
ass up
man. Quit
here.
being
So shut the
emotional,
fuck
nigga.
up.
Quit being
You just
emotional,
All
talking
right, all
nigga.
right,
shit.
fellas,
You came up here
fellas,
talking
calm
shit.
down.
Little
Fellas, calm
sassy
down. Let's
ass
calm
nigga. Quit
down,
being
fellas. Let's
emotional.
calm down, y'all. Let's calm down, man. We just having a general
Calm
boxing talk right here.
We
down,
can't have an
everybody.
honest conversation,
Damn, what's
man.
wrong?
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, we can all sing together. We
You
can't
little
all talk
soft
together.
sassy
So we
butt up,
one at a
boy.
time, please.
Jesus, what's wrong with y'all, man?
Niggas emotional over Shakur, man. That's what's wrong with these niggas,
Well,
man.
I'm
Hey, Jab,
Cash.
please.
Emotions,
I'm
Jab,
man.
it's him. It's him.
Emotions.
Big Dre,
Cash.
what's
I'm not.
up?
Well, I came up here originally because I was semi agreeing with Big Dog Willie. And I do. I'm a Tank fan. I'm a Lamont fan. Not so much a Shakur fan or a Devin fan, but and in general, I am a boxing fan. I've been a boxing fan for about 50 years. So I've seen a lot of boxing. Um, I do think Tank should take on some of his contemporaries. But there are extenuating circumstances to why he hasn't done it so far. See, because until about, I'm going to say about a year ago, when Loma decided, he was ready for retirement, um, and Bob Arum said, I need to get Loma paid in the biggest way possible. Uh, a fight between any of top ranked champions and Gervonta Tank Davis was not happening via Bob Arum. Bob Arum was not going to let that happen. Bob Arum said so himself. He said so on multiple occasions. So it's kind of hard to fight the other champions in your division when they all hold a belt that is controlled by Top Rank. And Bob Arum controls Top Rank. So
Bingo.
that made it a little bit difficult. So when he was ready to fight um, Devin, Devin was under Top Rank. Because see, he fought Cambosis twice, Loma. Then he scooted on up to 140. Okay, there goes the Devin fight. Shakur. Shakur talk all that smack, and Bob Arum told Shakur to his face, I'm not letting you fight him. Not now. I'm just not ready for that. I don't think you're ready for that. And these are Bob Arum's words. Not my words. Bob Arum, in charge of Top Rank, who controlled the belts at 135, with the exception of the WBA, which Tank holds. So it was virtually impossible to fight any of the other champions at 135 pounds. So he went up to 140 pounds, fought Mario Barrios. He went down to 130 pounds, fought Leo Santa Cruz. 3-division title, 5-time world champion. Okay? He's done what he needed to do. Now, what he wanted to do, Bob Arum didn't want. Bob Arum being the promoter in charge of the titles and in control of the fighters wasn't going to let that happen. That's just plain and simple, black and white. It wasn't going nowhere, you know? So now that Shakur is away from Top Rank and he had the opportunity, okay, so says Steven Espinosa, said, we called him. Hey, we're going to offer you a one-fight deal. That one fight is Tank Davis. Well, I'm looking for a multi-fight deal. You know, I don't want to just go on for one fight, then I got to go look for another promoter. But we don't want you for a long-term deal. We want you for this one fight. We want to give you this opportunity. See, because Loma stepped out. Loma backed out. We need an opponent. Well, I want a multi-fight deal. Well, if you want a multi-fight deal, I don't have a multi-fight deal for you. I guess we have to get back to you. So they didn't get back to him because they didn't have a multi-fight deal for him. Lamont was ready to sign a single fight deal. Hey, I'll fight you. I'll one fight deal. I'll take it. Let's go. Let's get it on. Let's make that money. Okay. So as far as him fighting his contemporaries, there were roadblocks in the way of making that happen. It just wasn't going to happen, you know, by, excuse me, just naturally. It just wasn't going to do it.
I
So
think
that's
that
why it didn't
people.
happen.
Well, nobody denies that Bob Arum isn't the easiest to do business with. I mean, none of these promoters are. But I mean, Ty, going back to why Tank gets a lot of criticism, he did the impossible and priced himself out of a fight with Turki Al-Sheikh. So he gets criticism for that. I'm not
That's
saying that
cap.
none.
He ain't priced out
So
shit, bro.
how did
No,
he
Turkey
price
no,
ain't.
himself
He
out?
ain't never even talked to Turkey, so
he
that's
did.
cap.
Hold on.
Hold on,
He
Cam. Let
did
him
do it.
finish.
He did it over Twitter. Now, again, I'm not excusing the other fighters. No one's a bigger fan of Loba than me. He pulled out of the Tank fight, so I'm not defending that. But Tank's the younger guy, and he gets criticism because, again, he said to Turkey, look, we got this many millions for you, and he said, how about 2 Ferraris? Like, that's ridiculous. That's why he gets criticized.
But that was
Okay.
tongue in cheek, and I think that Fight Sport. I think that
No.
the problem is you can pay Canelo $100 million. What's 2 Ferraris?
Well,
You
say it
can
was
pay
tongue in.
you can
Say it
pay
was tongue.
Anthony Joshua $100 million.
Well,
I just
are
don't.
you saying
I
that?
don't see how he priced himself out. Anthony Joshua
Well,
got 100.
Well, he priced himself out
The Gypsy
because
King got
Tank.
100 million. Usyk got 100 million. Why not Tank 100 million?
Well, why not just go and negotiate that then instead of saying, well, how about you give me 2 Ferraris? Like the way, what's so funny? I'm answering your question. Like,
He said 2
somebody
Ferraris
offers.
to talk. He sent me 2 Ferraris to talk. I'll negotiate. You send me 2
It
Ferraris. I'll
shows.
start paying.
Look. You're
That
coming.
shows it
You're
was
coming up with.
sarcasm.
You're coming. It wasn't sarcasm. You're coming up with excuses here. He priced himself out of Turki Al-Sheikh. Now, I'm not saying Turkey's great, but this is why you guys are saying why he gets criticized. This is why he gets criticized.
Here,
Okay,
Fight
so
Sports.
let
Let
me get this straight. Let me get this straight. I want to make sure that I'm on the right page.
Go ahead.
So when Tank says, I don't need Turkey to make 20 million. He's done that before. He's done that before. He's done that plus before. So why do I need to go talk to Turkey to make $20 million? I've done that before. I've already done that. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It don't make sense. So you want to talk to me, send me 2 Ferraris. I'll talk to you. And when Ferraris ain't that expensive, you $3 million a piece, chump change. Take that out to 20 million.
Okay.
When he said, send me 2 Ferraris and I will talk to you, you have to take that with a bit of sarcasm. There can be no other way. There can be no other way to take that.
And that's my point. It's tongue in cheek. You knew that he was not serious.
Turkey fired back with, I got 2 boxing gloves.
Let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
You got to find a better way. Maybe pricing himself out. That's not the way to say it's Fight Sports, because it's kind of hard to say the nigga that sold 1 million pay-per-view buys is pricing himself out. That shit just don't make no fucking sense. Like, we all know how this game goes. You got the A side, you got the B side. Tank is a massive A side. You guys can criticize Tank until you blue in the face. I don't care about that, but keep it 100. When the A side comes to you and wants to give you a fight, it's the B side's job to shut his bitch ass up and take the fight. Period. That's how this game has been going forever. That's how this game will go forevermore. Let's forget about EJ and Bud. Let's act like that shit never happened, because we ain't gonna see that shit again. That shit ain't gonna happen with Tank. You guys got to get over this corny ass shit, man. Like, it's Shakur's job to take whatever them motherfuckers offer him. If he's so confident he gonna win, why he worried about a multi-fight deal? If he's so confident he gonna win, he knows he gonna get a rematch. So it's gonna be a 2-fight deal.
Cash, I'm not defending Shakur turning down a multi-fight deal with PBC to sign a multi-fight deal with Matchroom. I'm not defending that. I'm just okay. Maybe I could have said it better. I don't think he handled it well the way he responded to Turkey. But again, anyway, I didn't come up here to defend every other fighter. I hope Shakur and Keyshawn agree to fight each other. I'm just saying why Tank gets some of the criticism.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Tank deserves criticism, but I want all these guys to fight too. But I'm aware that there's a certain way that this shit goes, and Tank is the A side, and this shit's gonna happen on Amazon Prime. This shit ain't gonna happen on Turkey's card.
Yeah,
everything's gonna happen on Tank's whatever Tank says. Tank side says go. Period, man. You guys are trying to turn this whole Turkey shit. That's like you guys trying to create a roadblock that don't even exist.
Well, yeah, Turkey. We're seeing the problems with Turkey right now. So yeah, he's not completely. He's got his issues as well. But I'm glad the Roach rematch is happening.
Yeah, I'm glad that rematch is happening too. And just to go back to what you were saying before about the two Ferraris, like I said, I believe that was tongue in cheek. But we've seen that Turkey is willing to pay fighters way more than what they deserve. Look at May 2nd. All of them niggas got way more than what they deserve to fight, and half they asses ran around in the ring with their hands in their pocket, i.e. Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if we're just talking, and since when does Turkey care about money all of a sudden? Now that's your argument? Because I remember
no.
Gravy Train said he didn't care about money.
No, Ty. I've never defended Turkey. I've never said that. Turkey's perfect, like a certain boxing hackers type of guy. No, I'm not. Again, I'm not defending Turkey. He's got loads of issues. He made Canelo skull instead of Canelo Benavidez. So yeah, no, I'm not defending Turkey. I'm just I don't think what Tank said was tongue in cheek. But yeah, everyone's got their issues. I'm just I just think Tank could have gone about it better, but it is what it is.
What do you think he could have gone about what better?
I don't think he should have tweeted. I think the two Ferraris thing, it seemed like, all right, you got 20 million, okay, pay me 50 million. Now I'm gonna have to do videos on this. This happened before I got on YouTube. When Tyson Fury pulled the same stuff to duck Alexander Usyk for 2 years before he finally got, I don't know, some crazy payday.
Hold up, who you think he ducked?
Who, Tyson Fury?
No, you said to pull the same thing to duck, as if Tank is ducking somebody. Who was he ducking?
No. I said when Tyson Fury pulled the he pulled the two Ferraris line when he started like saying I want $500 million to fight Usyk. That was straight up ducking. So the reason why you asked me what could Tank have done better. When you say give me this amount of millions, more millions than you've ever given anyone else, that can be pricing yourself out. Tyson Fury did this. So I don't like it when I just don't think fighters should do that.
Well, I don't think that, I mean, like I said before, I think it was tongue in cheek, but I don't think nothing's wrong with asking for all that money. I'm the A side, and you clearly still clout chasing me at your last press conference for a whole nother fight that has absolutely nothing to do with, you put me number one on your pound for pound ring list. I don't even fight for you. That's first of all. And then you're going up there making assumptions that after Shakur, or you're insinuating that after Shakur fights Zepeda, he's getting a Tank fight. I just want us to be extremely clear. There's never been a conversation anywhere had that Tank said he was going to be fighting Shakur after he finished fighting Lamont Roach. I just don't understand why they keep on clout chasing him. Like, get off his lap. He's not Santa Claus.
Yeah, I didn't take the two Ferraris seriously, but hypothetically, if it was serious, how's that pricing yourself out? This Turkey's handing out 50 million to dudes who ain't even scratched a million pay-per-views. No time no time recently. So this nigga, why can't he ask for whatever he want to ask for? That just doesn't make no sense, man.
Sure. Well, I criticized Turkey last year with how he was treating Naoya Inoue as well. So I'm not. I agree with you. I agree.
It's like Turkey came in the game paying all the wrong people all the big money. He should have put all that big money towards Canelo, Benavidez, or Tank, and whoever. Like, you don't hand out all this big money to all these niggas that ain't even doing no numbers. He did everything ass backwards, man. He giving us Bud and Canelo when we want Bud Benavidez, man.
Yeah, I'm not with that shit. But Cam J, what's good?
Man, what's good, man? I was just listening to the Jake Paul Tank conversation, which is pointless, it's irrelevant, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? The weight don't even match up. So it's pointless to even continue to keep talking that. Big Dog Willie keep trying to paint this Jake Paul Tank narrative, which he's gonna be wrong about a lot of shit that he's been wrong before, so it ain't gonna be no difference. So they can kill all of the whole Jake Paul and Tank talk, bro. Jake Paul is trolling, bro. Shit ain't happening. That shit is cat. But for Shakur had the opportunity to take the fight with Tank last year, and he tucked his tail and went over there to Matchroom Boxing to go over there to fight Joe Cordina, bro. A guy that was at 130, coming off a loss, and a knockout loss at that. And then on top of that, they moved Joe Cordina up from 130 to 135. This man Eddie Hearn literally paid for this man, Joe Cordina, to be in the ranking so he can fight Shakur Stevenson, bro. That's how desperate the man was, bro. Paying the man, Joe Cordina, to get in the 135 rankings for the WBC to fight Shakur Stevenson. And y'all sitting here up here talking about, oh, he gotta go for the fight with Shakur, where they already tried to make it happen and Shakur tucked his tail. Like, what are we talking about here? Like y'all trying to put this shit off on Tank. Tank then try to fight some of his contemporaries recently, and these guys ain't want to fight. Like, so what are we talking about right here?
Yeah, I believe there was an offer for Keyshawn Davis as well, because I remember him saying that on the broadcast that he was doing the what fight was that he was sitting at the commentator's desk and they asked him about the fight and he said that they did reach out. Now, when he reaches out, it doesn't mean it's going to be immediately. He may just be trying to see, you know what I'm saying, check these niggas' temperature or line some shit up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just because he doesn't fight them in his very next fight doesn't mean that he does not want to fight them. I'm pretty sure he hears everybody talking about he don't want to fight these guys, and I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Tank fans, he laughs at them because it's like he's been fighting tougher competition than the both of them, in my opinion. And there's really nothing either one of them can really do to keep him from knocking them out.
Can I say another reason why Tank gets criticized? And I hope you guys know this is all in good faith. I say the same thing about Canelo. Like, people, I got kicked off a show for saying that him fighting Skull was kind of a duck. People said, how? He's world champion. Tank moved up to 140 to fight Mario Barrios, and he doesn't move up. He hasn't moved up since to fight any of the other champions. So people, I hear what you guys are saying. You're saying, oh, everybody wants Tank to fight everyone. Well, some fans, again, there are some fans out there who are idiots, but some fans say he should move up to 140 and fight champions there because he's done it before. So that's another reason he gets criticized.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I ain't got no argument with that. But he is the smallest dude at 135. So yeah, the smallest nigga moved to 140 before all them dudes that are way bigger than him. I mean, so shit. Yeah. Have the same smoke for all them other niggas.
Well, I do.
Right. I mean, Tank can literally fight at 130 and campaign at 130. That's how small he is.
Yeah, he's a small guy. I'm not denying that. It's just, I mean, Canelo fans say the same thing to me when I say he should move up and fight somebody else. I said he should move up and fight Benavidez or Morel. And they say, why? He's a small guy. And I say, well, he's moved up to 175 before. So, yeah, if Keyshawn goes on for the rest of the year and doesn't fight any top competition, then yeah, he's just as big of a he's as big of a problem. But he only just became champion, so we'll see.
Yeah, and then the whole, you know, Tank isn't fighting anybody talk. I mean, then if he's not fighting nobody, who the hell are these other guys fighting? You know
nobody.
What I'm saying?
And why does his contemporary want to fight the guys that Tank has already beat and fought already as well? Exactly. Like the whole Tank don't have a resume conversation is stupid as hell at the end of the day because all of these guys be begging to fight the guys that he already done fought and beat already.
Yeah, I don't. All right, let's get off of Shakur before Big Dog Willie has a heart attack in my chat. Where do y'all think?
Emotional ass Willie.
Where do y'all think that Devin will end up? Because I don't think he has enough pop on that punch to fully acclimate to 147, and I think that he's too big for 140. So, what do y'all think his next move should be? And if you listen to his father, there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine. This is the new Devin Haney. What do you see? I mean, obviously, I never thought Devin was a star to begin with, but obviously there are people that do. But where do you think he will land? I mean, is he going to be now just completely fighting for Turkey? Do you guys see him going back to Eddie Hearn? Or what weight class is he going to campaign in? Like, I have real legitimate questions when it comes to Devin Haney's career and where he goes from where he just was.
Devin
I got to
Haney
bounce off.
he's going to end up as the gatekeeper of 147 and 154. I don't think he's got enough.
You think he'll move up to 154, Big Dre?
No, I don't think he'll move. I think he don't have a choice but to move up to 154. The man walks around at probably about 175 to 180 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not. Okay. You don't think he walks around at about 170 pounds? When he fought Regis Prograis, in shape, he came in, he got weighed in at 140 on Friday afternoon. Yeah. Okay. On Saturday morning, at the Saturday morning weigh-in, which is probably about 12 hours before the fight, he weighed 165 pounds.
Yeah, I know he's huge, but so that would mean
I think
if he's weighing once
at 165 in full shape, boxing shape ready, you don't think he gains 10 pounds while he's not training?
We've all seen the pictures of Devin looking big as hell. He walking around 180 easy, man.
He has to. And that clip that I posted of Eddie Hearn talking about him after he weighed in for the Ramirez fight, he said Devin looked about 160.
Well, I was going to say, if he does walk around 175, 180, that means he's cutting like close to 40 pounds. I mean, is that even doable?
That's why he walking around here looking like Thriller sometimes.
That's what he's doing, bro. He's doing that for real.
I don't think Devin's moving up to fight Boots. Like, I think Boots.
We never said he was going to fight Boots. Devin is not going to fight Boots.
Well, no, some of his fans are. If he fights.
Some of his fans are, should I say, are less than intelligent. Should I say less than completely intelligent?
Well, I'm not a big Devin fan. He's definitely not fighting Boots because Boots will kill him. Like Boots will kill Tio as well. So I think the easiest thing to do is to get Tio and Devin to fight each other because they hate each other. And yeah, the fights weren't that great, but those guys hate each other, so the build up will be fun. So,
what are you talking about, Tio and Devin?
Yeah, they just fought on the same card. They're both in the same. Well, Devin fought at a catchweight, but they're both pretty much in the same division. I mean, why not have them fight each other? And also, Devin just called him out.
Although I appreciate Devin's sentiment, Devin is full of shit. Okay, he is trying to ride the Tio racist clout as of right now because you were just on a plane with him. You didn't press him. You didn't say nothing. You didn't do a damn thing. So I don't believe Devin Haney for one goddamn second. More importantly, I don't think he possesses the skills to get done what I need to get done. I don't need a pity pat out point. I need Tio beat the fuck up.
Well, let's go Boots.
Yeah, well, Tio doesn't stand a chance against Boots, but I just think they should fight each other. Like if Turkey makes the Haney Garcia rematch, like he is seriously retarded. Like it'd be the dumbest idea in the world to have those two fight each other right now.
You said Haney and Garcia? Why?
I still want to see
both of their stock is dropped.
Both of their stock is dropped. What the hell difference do it make? They need that rematch.
I understand some guys want to see. I don't. I understand some fans want to see it, but like Turkey will be a retard if he puts that fight on because he just had he just had two events with the main events were boring as shit. So he would put two guys who just had boring fights, Devin and Ryan against each other. Like it's like you have an event that flops and you do the exact same thing.
I think
It's
putting
like
on
that'll
that
be
fight.
Since he's been in boxing, so that's not necessarily an issue. But I think that fight has more steam than him and maybe Tio, because Devin's looking to get his get back. He's hanging his hat on this Ostarine thing, so he needs to prove that he can beat Ryan. Just because Rolly did it, you can't send him to beat your after school bully up. You got to go do that yourself. That's your work. Go get that.
Devin's trying to find a way out of that rematch. That's what I think. Have the rematch, but just don't overpay these niggas, and maybe you can make a profit for once.
But Cash, he's probably gonna. If he does make the fight, they're probably going to ask for serious money to do it. So he probably will overpay them. And Ty, I hear what you're saying, but they just had their fights were boring as hell, Devin and Ryan. So why would you put them against each other? Like, the fight's probably going to be boring as shit, and everyone's going to say, "Well, we saw this coming."
I enjoyed watching Rolly piece Ryan up. I didn't think that was boring, but that Devin fight for sure, that was trash.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that he needs to get his get back. Ryan needs to clear his name. I just think that there's still a little steam there for that. If they continue to go on before they have the rematch and one of them loses again, then maybe it's like, who really wants to see that? But as of right now, first of all, they centered that whole card around that damn rematch anyway. Did you see that cheesy ass commercial? So you did all of that for what? If you're not going to make the rematch?
Well, the fight will probably be. I say again, the fight will be boring as hell. Like, and also Ryan's proven to be trash off the Ostarines, so, and whatever else he was taking. So I don't know. I think you should put the two guys who won against each other, Devin and Tio.
I'll let Devin get his get back. He can get his get back. He can say that Ryan was trash. He can put the cheater label on Ryan Garcia. Blame the whole fight on Ostarine and make more money than he made the first time.
Ryan gonna stop Devin the next time, bro.
I just said he would make more money.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't say anything about he could stop Ryan, because Ryan fought Rolly when Rolly came out there and looked completely different. He was not the fighter that Ryan had seen throughout his career. Rolly was a different fighter. Rolly had intelligence. Rolly had some ring IQ. Rolly was pawing that jab out there, keeping that right hand busy. So that Ryan couldn't throw that left hook. He was out there moving to Ryan's weak side. He was making things. He was doing everything he needed to do to keep Ryan off his game. And we know Rolly hit like a Mack truck, and he caught Devin square, put him on his pockets. That when Ryan said, "Hold on, wait a minute. This is not what I signed up for. This is who am I fighting? That's supposed to be Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero's not supposed to knock me down." And that changed this whole fight. At that point, everybody has a plan. So you get hit and punched in the mouth. Ryan got punched in the mouth. His plan went out the window.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that I agree with that, only because they fought in the amateurs or they sparred. So Ryan knew exactly what kind of punching power Rolly had, because Rolly was piecing his ass up in sparring. He made his nose bleed. So he was aware of that. My problem with Ryan is it just appears that once, like you said, he gets socked in the mouth, all fight is out of him. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's starting to look like the Instagram model that everyone has considered him to be. However, I still think he got Devin's number, but only if they rematch will we know one way or not.
Well, yeah, him and Devin fought 6 times in the amateurs. They split them 3-3. Ryan knew what kind of fighter Devin was. Devin knew what kind of fighter Ryan was. Devin tried to do the same thing he did when they were amateurs, and Ryan stepped his game up to pro level. Same with Rolly. Ryan knew that Rolly's biggest thing was his power, and Rolly added IQ to his repertoire. He added defense, and Ryan didn't see that coming. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he held that
prepared for
damn
it.
phone. He held that phone like nobody's business
Oh
because
man,
he knew what it was.
hello AT&T. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Cam, you've been
Yeah,
quiet.
I got a problem with the like Devin calling out T.O. and I talked about it earlier on my show earlier. Like the thing with Devin, if you got a problem with him being a racist, why you ain't called this man out 3, 4 years ago? Because Teofimo Lopez has been doing the racist talk for about 3 or 4 years. Y'all remember when he was talking about, top rank praising and showing more support to the black fighters more than the Spanish fighters and all of that. I mean, if Devin really had a serious problem about it, he should have addressed that back then. But now him coming up talking about it now, knowing damn well the person he should be fighting is Ryan Garcia, and knowing that Turkey is wanting to make that fight happen next with him and Ryan Garcia, I like it's pointless to talk about Teofimo Lopez when you got this rematch on the horizon. So that's my problem I have with the Teofimo Lopez situation. For as Devin is, you calling out this man when you could have did this whole situation as far as him being racist a while back. You had the opportunity to fight him when Top Rank was trying to offer you to fight him on pay-per-view a few months ago, but y'all didn't want to take upon that for real. Y'all wanted to go fight on BOK Prime until y'all said, "Oh no, let's go ahead and holler at Turkey and go over here to UK and get with Turkey and be at the Ring Magazine Awards and all of that." And then he ended up getting two fights with Turkey, which is the first one was with Jose Ramirez, and the second one with Ryan Garcia. So the push and the whole top, the Teofimo Lopez is irrelevant. He needs to be focused in trying to fight Ryan Garcia. That's the only fight that myself personally want to see him fight, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people only want to see Devin fight Ryan Garcia right now.
Yeah, that's the only fact that I'm really interested in. And to your point, Tio has been doing this for years. And like I just said, you were just on a plane with him. So you really weren't that bothered by his racist antics. That's why I said he's clout chasing off of Tio's racism, which is, I don't know what the hell the Haney's got going on, but I would really like Devin to focus up because he is in between a rock and a hard place. If this young man does not get back in the ring, what do they usually take 90 days off or something like that? Where is your next fight going to be? What weight class are you going to campaign in?
And then, I mean, the crazy part, he, I seen, I seen Bill Haney on the Cigar Talk interview the other day where he was saying like, "Oh well, we don't know if we want to campaign at 147. We may go back down to 140." But then Devin's on here talking about he wants to fight Teofimo at 147. And then my whole thing about the rematch with Ryan Garcia, we know he's not about to go down and fight at a catch weight at 144 or he's going to go back and try to fight at 140. He's campaigning at 147 now. So Devin having these whole aspirations of possibly going back down to 140, like knowing that you're going to have to fight this rematch with Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia is going to make you fight at 147 because Ryan Garcia is the A side in that rematch still, too. By the way, with people, some of the Devin Haney fans being delusional about that, but Ryan Turkey values Ryan over Devin. If y'all ain't understand that from Devin being on the undercard to Ryan Garcia and Rolly, then I don't know what you're gonna understand.
Yeah, and Turkey taking him tissues, telling him to wipe his face, and while he crying in the car and all of that kind of goofy nonsense. Oh, I'm very aware of the status that Turkey holds Ryan and the status that he holds Devin. And this is what I tried to allude to people when Devin, like you said, had a chance to fight on BOK Prime. He turned it down because I'm assuming it wasn't enough money for him in that. That's why they went over there to meet Turkey. Turkey don't want to be bothered with them for real. They forced themselves on Turkey, basically trying to maybe even selling Turkey on letting him put on the rematch for Ryan and Devin. But and that's the only use in my eyes that Turkey has for Devin either. So to me, Devin and Shakur appear to be in the same boat.
Facts. And Devin is Shakur to put himself in a situation where he close to being like Devin because Turkey don't care about them guys. You see how he's doing. He's putting these guys on undercards and everything. Like he don't care about these guys at all. But
Yeah, Shakur not even the headline on his own fight.
This is
You
what I'm
know,
talking about. And then I'm glad you said that because that made me get ready to go back into what I was saying about Clarissa Shields when they interviewed her and they asked her why they thought that, Shakur was not the headline event and because, he had more accolades than Edgar Berlanga. And this fight, as you guys have stated before, has been in the making for like, what was it, a year now or two? They've been ducking and dodging each other, 2, 3
yeah,
years.
they've been huffing and puffing for about 2 years.
Yeah, so about 2 years they've been going back and forth with this fight, and finally it's manifested. She made it seem as if he isn't the headline because in New York, Edgar Berlanga, it's a lot of Spanish people, black people don't support. It's not a lot of black stars. That was my only issue with Clarissa Shields saying that because it's like that's just simply not true. There's been an abundance of black stars that garnered a lot of fans. It's just his fighting style that isn't a fan favorite. And it appears that Shakur says things that just are not true more often than not. So I think that that's a lot of the problem with him as well. And if we go back to little snippets of Tank saying he know what he got to do to get this fight, he got to get his stock up. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you don't want to be the one carrying the fight. I mean, like, let's be real. If it's black and another race, obviously that's going to draw more money because it's another demographic. When we go against each other, not often, not all the time, unless it's like, a huge fight that's been brewing for a while, will it garner a lot of, financial revenue. But outside of that, it's going to be, that arena will be filled with 85% Tank fans. Let's be honest.
Well,
Facts.
I don't know what the final numbers were for Tank and Lamont, but I do know that for the Barclays Center, it's the second highest grossing event to be held in the Barclays Center.
Yeah, Tank broke his own record. It was 19,000. Was it 250? I saw it come across the screen as they were fighting because they said they had to open up another portion of the arena to fit all the people. So I think the arena typically holds 18,000, but I think they were at 19,250 or
No,
something like
I think the max is 19.2,
that.
and they
Yeah.
were at 18,975 or something like that. But I think that's what Knockout said. I don't remember what it was, but the highest grossing event at the Barclays Center was the Rolling Stones, and he was within a few dollars of breaking their record. So I think Tank can fight Ubu, the garbage man, and fill up an arena. That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. He can fight, the high school janitor and fill up an arena and do 200,000 on pay-per-view because people want to see it. People want to see him. Like Top Rank offered the Haney's the Tio fight with a percentage based on 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Well, wait a minute, you just fought Loma on pay-per-view and did over 125. You don't think fighting Tio will get you over 125 in pay-per-view? I mean, I think it was a bad business decision. Not just a bad boxing decision, a bad business decision not to take that fight. I mean, just because they said you need to exceed 100,000 pay-per-views.
You talking about who?
For Tio and Devin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to promote the fight, promote the fight. Get out there, make it seem like it's worth buying. I mean, people are still in the zone fights because they just can, and they don't feel like supporting them because the money's not staying here. But when you got a fight where the money is staying here, they're more than likely to support it, at least to 100,000. You'll get 100,000 angry people wanting to see Tio get beat up. But like I said, I think it was a bad business decision on top of several other bad business decisions that they've made. And if you lump Shakur in there to these bad business decisions, Actually, our sport is full of them because the Normans have made several bad business decisions in a row. I'm not mad about Brian going out there and getting his money um, in little chunks um, while he's got a belt to defend um, and building his stock while Boots takes on tries to become undisputed. Um, Another unification bout. He's got his first one. He needs to get his second one, and then the third one will be for all the marbles. But right now he's got Mario Barrios is fighting Manny Pacquiao, which I think was um, somebody was sitting in their back room saying, "Ooh, I'd like to see Manny fight again." He's probably making some ungodly amount of money to come out of retirement and fight again.
Manny
But
done lost that little election, child, and just said the hell with it. But no, and to your point, yeah, they should have taken that, but Bill was not sure his son could sell. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I be trying to figure out. Like, y'all say one thing, but then y'all do another because y'all really know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Which is the same thing that I think Turkey feels about Shakur and Devin as well. You know, they really can't sell on their own because you can build a card possibly around them, but the card, I mean, what is it really going to do unless they align themselves with bigger stars on their own? They're just not really that amazing. The same thing that I believe Brian Norman Sr. has done. They're latching on to bigger stars to kind of get some of that starlight. You know what I'm saying? And it's I can't stand it, me personally, although I've been told that that's the way they do it now. I just don't like it. I feel like, if you can stand on your own, then you really don't need to attach yourself to another person, because then with you doing that, what if they decide, like I was asking before, what if Tank decides to retire tomorrow? Then Shakur, who are you going to attach yourself to if you're not making a name for yourself?
Facts. And even on top of that, a lot of these guys know that, like for instance, with the whole Devin and Tiafimo situation, him going over there to Turkey, a lot of these guys, they want guaranteed bags. They don't want to do the work, like a lot of the PBC fighters where they were building their brand up, selling out arenas and everything. These guys don't want to do that, and they don't have to do that over there with Turkey. Turkey giving them guaranteed bags, and then you see 2 weeks ago with the performances, Turkey, he ain't having that shit with the performances no more, and Turkey's about to start cutting some of these dudes off if they continue to fight like some girls in there. Not even shit, they ain't fight like the girls. They fighting like some soft guys as being boxing track stars out there. And Turkey's not about to keep compensating these guys that much for these guys having these soft performances running around the ring.
well, if
No,
you
and
look
that's a fact.
if you look at Devin's performance um, from 2 weeks ago, um, you know, I am glad to see that he has added lateral movement to his repertoire. But to have a whole fight that's just lateral movement, 2 or 3 pot shots, um, no combinations. You step in, you throw 2 shots, and you run, and you move laterally left, and then when he tracks you down, you move laterally right. Then you throw 2 shots because you backed yourself into a corner, and now that you're out of the corner, you wait for him to track you down again. That type of fight is not a fight. It's not. It's not enjoyable. I won't so much as call it boring as mind numbing. Um, but it's hard to watch. I didn't think Devin did enough to win the fight, but on the other hand, Jose would let his hands go when he got in range. So who do we get a fight to? Well, I guess the guy that threw that 2 punches more. That's where I am on it. I mean, Devin needs to pick up his thing. And if Shakur doesn't go out and really wash Zapata the way that people think he can, and doesn't succumb to the high pressure, he's going to be on another undercard. When you can't headline at home, it's a problem.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I think that that was my problem. Like, I don't think that people are being realistic or even honest about the state of Shakur's career. Like, people can say, you know, he's a big name, or he's main event worthy. They can be outraged that he wasn't on the main event. But at the end of the day, I mean, who's gonna watch it? Who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Who's gonna pay for it? I mean, everyone can say now that they're watching it because of Shakur, but then why was he not good enough to be the main event on it?
Because he's not good enough to be the main event. You know,
And then even on top of that, they looking at Berlanga and Shiraz as a more action impact fight, where they like, no, we put Shakur in there as the main event. He gonna mess around and be gunshot and everything. They thinking Turkey's thinking of all of these possibilities like that. And he like, oh yeah, and on top of that, Shakur, no, he put him out there on in public about the money. So and they made the man apologize, and he still put him on the undercard in New York. Like it's nasty work. It's nasty work for real. Like Turkey is getting tired of the B-side fighters that don't want to fight, and fans not understanding that because right now he's getting a lot of flack for those events still. No, these guys don't want to fight. They want to be boxing track stars, but they want to get paid millions of dollars to fight. And Turkey seeing that, like, I'm losing money on these events. Turkey know he's losing money on these events. And I like y'all fans. I say y'all, he don't care, but he gotta care if he's starting to limit, the money that he's starting to pay on some of these guys. Trying to pay some of these guys in cryptocurrency, like messing up their flights, doing a whole bunch of extra shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just nasty work from all angles.
you know, if Shakur hadn't put up the ultra stinker against Edwin De Los Santos, he would have been in a much better position. Now, granted, he said he hurt his. I'm sorry. Granted, he hurt his hand. You know, pulled out the X-rays and showed how busted up his knuckles were before the fight. Um, and now he's on Cigar Talk showing off his stitches where his hand was surgically repaired and he's doing the hand treatments. People are wondering about the viability of his hands. I mean, because, can you get into a real fight, a knockdown, drag out with Tank Davis, with hands of Cottonelle? Can you get into a real fight where you have to? Yes, I said Cottonelle. I was going to say Charmin, but it's hard for us as boxing fans to take you 100% serious when you got into a fight with Josh Padley and you were getting tagged up in the early rounds by Josh Padley, the man who on Monday afternoon had to tell his boss, yo, boss, I just got a call. I got a fight in Saudi Arabia this weekend. I need the rest of the week off. I got to take a physical first thing in the morning, and then I got to be in Saudi on Wednesday. And Shakur said he hurt his hands in that fight. Yes, he took care of Josh Padley. He was supposed to take care of Josh Padley. Josh Padley, even though he was an undefeated fighter, he was also working a 9 to 5 as an electrician. How much actual training time does he have? So you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you go running, and you run for an hour, and then you go hit the gym for an hour. Then you grab breakfast and you at work by 7 a.m. And then when you get off at 4, you go hit the gym again and grab some dinner on before you go home and crash to do the same thing tomorrow. You've got 3 hours of training in and an 8+8 hour workday. And you're doing this 5-6 days a week. Is it good training? Is it working for you? Oh, hey, he stepped up and got the bag. That was life-changing money for Josh Padley. He took an ass whooping for it. But really, how good is Josh Padley? How good was he supposed to be? He was a 135-pound, 5-pounder who could make the weight and said yes. You know?
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's why I brought up the level of competition, because it's like, who are you fighting to get you ready for that? You know what I'm saying? And thank you, ASO, staying in the cash app. I got it. Thank you so much, babe.
Oh, I see you put your cash app down there. Wish I had some money to give you, but
yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just trying to figure out, like, that was my question. Who are you fighting that's getting you ready to face Gervonta Tank Davis? Because the Padleys of the world just aren't going to cut it.
You know, the Artems of the world aren't going to do it. You know, fighting the guy he didn't fight. What's the guy's name? But at any rate, he went over to Matchroom for a 3-fight deal that has ended up just harming his career. He's been in 2 fights. He's been the undercard on both of them. I mean, you go from being the headliner, albeit on a Thursday night, to an undercard across the street from your hometown. Am I wrong?
I mean,
am I seeing it wrong?
Nah, that's a fact. That's what I'm saying. Like, his stock, that shit on a fire sale. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what can he do? I mean, outside of having better performances and stepping up his competition, clout chasing Gervonta Tank Davis, in my opinion, just isn't gonna. I mean, like I said, you're gonna shape your whole career on that. I don't know. Are we wrong, Cam? Like, I mean, where does he go from here? If he's not gonna fight Tank, where does he go?
I mean, Shakur now he got Zepeda, of course, and I mean, like the one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way the other day was the whole Riyadh season ambassador, thing that Turkey, gave him that whole title for us that. Because then, it kind of made me think like, damn, like, is he really working with, Turkey? Is it going to be more extended after, this whole Zepeda fight? And, Turkey got the whole TKO boxing. And, right now, they having issues with TKO boxing and getting fighters right now on the roster. And Oscar De La Hoya, he's been on record
Mute
saying
yourself,
that
Jay. Mute
pretty
yourself.
much like he been pretty much Oscar De La Hoya's on record saying that right now they're waiting for TKO's waiting for guys to come off their contracts and be able to sign these guys right now. And you can see Shakur possibly maybe making a move over there, messing with Turkey with the whole TKO boxing situation, messing with him, or messing with Eddie Hearn. It's either one. I think he's going to stay over there. Like he's not. I don't see him coming over to PBC to try to make the fight with Tank because he hasn't showed it.
So you think he'll re-sign with Eddie?
I think it's a big possibility he re-signs with Eddie Hearn right now. The way it's shaped out.
Yeah, and if he does that, then he definitely don't want that fight, because Tank has made it abundantly clear that he doesn't want to do business with Eddie Hearn, and he's really not interested in doing business with Turki Al-Sheikh either. But I just mean, as far as like opponents, since he doesn't, okay, so you paint Tank as a duck. Okay, Tank is ducking you. Now what? Because you absolutely refuse to fight Keyshawn and you're fighting Zepeda. So does he move up? Like, what is his next course of action? That's just my thing. Like, my thing be like, why don't any of these boxers have a plan B outside of Gervonta Tank Davis?
I'm just looking at it like with the WBC rankings. You got of course he's fighting Cepeda now. Then Andy Cruz is at one over there now. So Andy Cruz is looking like he's vying for that spot for the WBC title, and then I just don't see who's the guys he's gonna fight. If that's a fight that he can make easily, right there. With if he be back with Matchroom, Andy Cruz, Matchroom guy, that's an easy fight right there to make. We know he's not gonna fight Javier Herrera. He already done showed that he's not gonna fight him, and they didn't move Javier Herrera up to six now in the WBC now.
And he
You know,
don't want to
Abdullah
fight
Mason.
either.
Yeah, and Abdullah Mason, he's at four right now in the WBC. Then they got Sam Noakes, which is at three in the WBC right now, and they got Sam Noakes ranked in that Ring Magazine pound for pound rankings for the 135 at 10. So Ricardo Nunez at two for the WBC. I don't see that happening for real either. It's really hard to tell what he's gonna do for real because if you beat Cepeda and then Tank gets past Roach, it should make both of y'all fighting around the same time. Y'all, it should make good to go ahead and make that fight happen. Shakur, go ahead and do what you need to do to go ahead and make the fight happen with Tank and go over there to PBC and make it happen.
Well, after the Zepeda fight, he will have completed his obligation. I believe will have completed his obligation to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. It will give him the opportunity to go to PBC and say, please, 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 put on to do his best James Brown and get the Tank fight. And then he can be, another notch in the belt of Gervonta Tank Davis and follow in the footsteps of everybody else who has been a champion or former champion and gone on to reclaim glory and, move up in the world after fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, i.e. Rolly Romero,
So you
Pitbull
think he'll move
Cruz.
up?
Well, if he decides to move up, if he decides to move laterally, he will have already fought Tank Davis. And like I said, he can follow in the footsteps of everybody else that has fought Tank Davis. Frank Martin is probably about to get a championship after fighting Tank Davis. Pitbull Cruz has won 2 world titles after fighting Tank Davis. Rolly Romero has gained 3 titles after fighting after losing to Tank Davis. Mario Barrios moved from 140 to 147 and became champion after losing to Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur can just add his name to the list. He can lose to Tank and move up to 140 because he's probably big enough to do so easily and become champion at 140. I'm just saying, follow the clues.
I mean, yeah, they do become stars after they
Take that L.
Okay.
Lamont's a champ at 130, and it pains me to say this. He's gonna go in his ring for the rematch. He's gonna take the L, but he's either gonna go to 130, go back to 130, or stay at 135, and he's gonna become champion again real quickly. That's the way I see it happening. And he will have gotten 2 big bags in the process. Let's make him a pay-per-view star.
Yeah, but he doesn't. I mean, after that, that's a fact. That is a fact. But Ryan got another pay-per-view chance after he got his ass whooped by Tank too. So
yes,
definitely.
Ryan has done everything but become champion.
Yeah. So that's another thing too.
He's been on pay-per-view twice after fighting Tank.
Yeah.
If he'd I guess if we don't start going down the F road because the opportunity was there to get a belt against Devin. But I think Ryan was too dismissive of Devin and everything that was about that to make that happen.
So let me ask y'all a question because, earlier, I don't know, Big Dre, if you heard, we were discussing the belts and the accolades and why that's not translating, obviously, into financial benefits. In your opinion, because I know you're probably like an old school kind of fighter guy. And Kim, I want your opinion too. What do you guys value more, the belts or the stardom? That's obviously becoming more popular nowadays and more polarized.
I
Okay, okay,
say
okay. Go ahead,
go
Kim.
go ahead, Big Drake. Go ahead.
No, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Kim.
Big
Let you
Drake. Go ahead.
take it. I've been running off at the
Go
mouth for
ahead.
a long time.
You all good. You all good, bro. I say, man, honestly, I mean, I always had this whole module to where I think, right now with the state of boxing, I feel like the belts is, the fighters don't care about the belts anymore. All the fighters, they want to get paid. They looking at the older fighters, how, some of these older fighters, they don't have money, but, their legacy was their belts and all of that. And I feel like right now with the legacy, with, the current state of boxing with the fighters now, they all want some money. Yeah, they had talked about they want to, become, champion and stuff. The belts, the having a belt comes with the money. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the money for sure. The only bad thing about having a belt right now is you having to pay that sanction fee, that fee. I mean, the sanction body that fee over there. You know what I mean? That 3%. And you becoming, like a guy like Canelo having all four titles, he paying 12%. So, the sanction bodies, they rock with him heavy over there. And so, I mean, me personally, I feel like, it's more so the stardom. It's more a little bit important than now. The belts is cool. You know what I'm saying? I think the belts come along with the stardom too as well because, you got guys like, Tank and Canelo. They have titles. You know what I mean? So, and it comes along with the stardom.
Okay, so Tank and Canelo are I won't say they're the exception to the rule, but they are head and shoulders above the rule because they do both. They get the bag every time they step in the ring. Every time you step on pay per view, and Canelo's contract says, he's on like a 80-20 pay per view on all revenue. Um, so he wants a piece. He wants part of the popcorn sales. He don't care. Um, so he's got a kind of a funny contract. Tank, on the other hand, is coming in A side, taking a minor, you know, um, stipend, as I will call it, um, to to do the fight, and all of his money comes on the back end. So you can take all the gate and everything, and we can make sure that everybody, all the fighters get paid, and we can make sure all the trainers and everybody else get paid out of the gate because we're gonna make a big gate. And then once we do that, and all the fighters have been paid, I want my money on the back end. I'll take a little tiny check up front, so that fight night I can go out and have a and buy the restaurant a steak dinner. Um, but I want my money on the back end. So that's what he's been doing, and it's been working for him. Um, but he is the exception to the policy, and not the policy itself, because most of these guys don't get a chance to fight for the pay per view revenue. They get a set fee, and they get what they get. And a couple $1 million or um, $1 million, and then you got to go home and you got to pay your trainer, and you got to pay your promoter's already taken his cut, and you got to pay the sanctioning fees, and your manager got to get his cut. And when you get home and you got $250,000, wait a minute, I thought I had supposed to get a check for $1 million. Well, you did get
Yeah.
a check for $1 million, but everybody else got paid. Now here's yours left over.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would like to see these guys get in there and shake it up. But like I said, just financially, it would look like Javante, as you said, is carrying the bulk of it. And I I'm not trying to shit on their accolades by no means. I'm just saying that they would all trade places with him if they could, regardless of the accolades. Like you hear them start to say now. I heard Keyshawn, he did his first press conference for the De Los Santos. He said, the hell with them belts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to pay another sanctioning fee? So they're starting to, because I guess, like you said, they're not making as much. So they're split from whoever else is in their pockets. And at the end of the day, they're not getting as much, which is probably why they're calling him out so damn often, because they want that big money fight. And I get that. I just feel like realistically, to me, there's a lot of guys that'll get in your ass that ain't got no belt. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I guess it's 50-50 for me. I feel like you're in this because it's prize fighting. And if you can get the prize without worrying about a belt, then why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get, like, Shakur, he has to get all of these belts and accolades to go to the table with, something to ask for more money, because he definitely does not, he's not a fan favorite for a lot of people. And then, his issues that he has with his hands. And I heard that he was asking people who, if they know hand surgeons or hand masseuse or something like. So, just issues like that going into the ring was a paid, and then trying to make a Tank Davis fight. I just don't see how he's going to be, how he's going to come out on top. Because like I said, if I'm Zepeda, I'm tearing that body up and them hands and everything I can get my hands on. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know. I get that he has all those accolades, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're not really getting him to what he's in the sport for, which is the money. Correct? I mean,
Right. I got a question for y'all because I asked this earlier on my show earlier. What division? What's the best division in boxing right now? Y'all feel right now, like the top three divisions. If y'all want to just kind of spread it out a little bit, but what's the best division in boxing?
maybe 168, 160 to 168, because Charlo's back. You got Plan up there. Let's see. Maybe wait, where did Benavides now 68 no more? He's a 75?
Yeah, he at 75 now.
Yeah, maybe what is
I
that?
was saying the 154 division, because I think it's a hot division with a lot of names over there now. A lot of them guys that was at 147 was reigning
Moved up.
supreme. They then moved up. Yep. So I like 154. 168 got some killers up there as well.
I think yeah. It's not, I don't really see a jam pack in any weight class now, is it? It's
Well,
like spread out, like
It
you said.
really isn't.
no, it used to be 140, but 140 has died down. The 147, um, Spence and Crawford left 147, and it seems like everybody is trying to avoid boots. So I mean, it doesn't seem to be a lot happening. And I think Boots is going to rule that division if he decides to stay. You got this younger generation of Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and a couple others
They're
who
going to
are
147, most of them, right? Because I
yeah,
Yup,
don't know
all of
about
them,
Devin.
yeah,
all
but
of them are
they
moving
they
up.
are but they are between 140 and 147. Devin moved to 147, but Tio hasn't. I mean, Devin hasn't moved to 147, and Tio hasn't either. Ryan is the only one who's actually made the move to
Rolly
147.
too. Rolly too.
Oh yeah, and
Rolly is
Rolly.
officially at 147. The only one that claims that they went to 147 was Pillow Fist Devin Haney, who fought at 144, couldn't even go to 147. I don't see Ryan fighting Devin again at 144. They got to do it at 47. But
Yeah, but
why are we justifying?
Ryan just fought Rolly at 147.
Yeah. And Rolly now, Rolly's now he's the regular champ because Duran is the super.
Yeah,
Duran's the super, but I think they want to force. Well, the WBA said that Rolly got to fight Boots, but Boots has a mandatory, which is Shakram Giasov, and he needs to get through. I think they paid step aside money just so Boots could fight Stanionis. And if I'm right, I remember Eddie Earn a while back said that they might talk to Giasov again to see if he could step aside to fight Teofimo, but I don't know how that would go. So I'm assuming that if he goes and fights Teo, does he get stripped of the WBA since Rolly's his mandatory?
Yeah, I was reading a report the other day about that for as
well, if
them with Giasov because I'm hearing that they want that Eddie and Boots Team Boots they're trying to talk to Giasov about taking step aside money again so he can fight Teofimo Lopez. That's what
That's
they're trying to
crazy,
do right
man.
now. And
okay, fine.
I mean, literally Giasov, like I mean, he's a cool fighter and everything,
He's
but
okay. He's
I don't.
okay. He's boring. Let's be
Like
honest.
nobody don't want to see that fight for real with him
No,
and Boots for real.
he
That's
just
probably why they
wants.
try to pay him step aside money again.
And as Giasov, wait a minute, I get paid a fighter's purse to sit my ass on the couch. Thank you.
But you know what?
Facts, facts.
What I have a hard time with right now is the people justifying Teofimo Lopez and even considering him to fight Boots at 47 when this guy has racist behavior. What if he acts up at the press conference? I mean, it's
What if
just
Boots whoops his
the
ass?
Well, that's what they're
That's
well,
saying.
exactly
But the article
that's
I
what they
read
want.
said that he was planning to rev up his foolishness, or no doubt that he will have that type of racist behavior at the press conferences. So who knows if they'll even make it to
and
that
you
fight?
see that's what I don't approve of. Why are they giving him a payday? Because let's be honest, when Tio is with Top Rank still, he only gets I think $1 million, $2 million as a purse. So they better not give him $1 million purse. They better give that boy they better give him a purse that's 100,000 and that's it. Cause
No,
I don't like
give
the
him
antics. I'm
give
not.
him the big
I used
give
to
him
be
the
a
big
Tio
purse.
fan.
Give him
I
the big
used to be a
purse.
Tio
Put
fan,
all the
but not anymore.
stipulations on it.
But you know what? A lot of people were saying Boots is gonna destroy Tio. I agree, but we have seen Teofimo perform his best against amazing opposition. I mean, he did beat a Loma, a prime Loma, and a
That
prime
was
Josh Taylor.
722 years ago, Isaiah. That nigga,
No,
he
I know. But since you see with Tio, I don't know if he's gonna come out and I don't know which Tio we're gonna see that night. You know what I mean? So
Hell,
it
Tio don't
would
know which
be
Tio we gonna see that night.
exactly, but it would be a disaster for them to feed him the boots and Tio causes the upset. So now we're just gonna keep paying this racist even more money for beating a top dog at 47. I don't think
I don't see him
Boots should.
beating him.
I don't either. I don't. But I mean, from all the upsets we've been seeing, I just really hope that that I mean, things don't go his way. It is boxing. We've seen a lot of upsets the past couple of weeks, month really, and it's alarming. That the media is entertaining this guy and wanting to give him a big payday. Because let's be honest, this might be the biggest payday he will ever get in his life.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I mean, Tiff, go ahead, sis, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I see a lot of mixed energy in the chat. I'm of the belief whoop his ass in front of the whole world. I mean,
Fingers
I
crossed for that.
was saying,
100%.
blackball him and shit, but I mean, if we're gonna be honest, when Devin made his racist remarks, I think all they did was fine him or something like that. So, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, a boots fight, he's the only one
But
that
you
I can
know what?
really
I don't know why they
see.
haven't stripped Tio.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they said that they reviewed it, and what they say that he did say where the liquor at or something like that.
But you know what? It's crazy because if he did say where that liquor at, we all know exactly what he was trying to say. And by him trying to justify by saying, "Oh, I only said that because Crawford calls my dad a drunk and this, that, and the third," I don't believe it. Because one, you got Keyshawn Davis at the press conference talking about bananas, and then you got a video of Teofimo Lopez eating a banana and laughing. That is very disgusting behavior. So I'm not on board yet fully with the fight. As much as I want someone to beat the brakes off of Teo, send him to the hospital again. Or better yet, why
Man,
don't we just feed him back to Cambosis?
man, I
The
said it on
pedigree
my show
rights,
the other day, man.
that's
I need
Pinto's.
to see T.O. blood on the pavement, man. T.O. got to get punished. He need to get packed up for all of this racism shit for real, dog. That's how I feel. And Boots is the right man for the job. Devin Haney would not be the man for the job. Boots is the right man to pack T.O. up and get him out of here.
Yeah, I said that. I said Devin is just basically clout chasing off the racism thing because he's had his opportunity. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't T.O. call Devin the N-word to his face when him and Bill was standing there after that fight, and it was him and his father and Bill and Devin? I could have sworn he called him the N-word right to his damn face.
Yeah, he's very disrespectful. And that's what I'm saying. It's just nasty behavior for someone to be acting like this. And then, like, I don't mind the fight. I just don't. It's like it's like someone said, the stipulations for that fight better be insane because one, Tio's gonna come with that racist behavior and he's gonna try to justify that he's not racist and that he's from New York so he could say that word. He grew up saying that word. Man, I don't believe that one
And
bit.
then I know that people are gonna say that, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Berlanga." But if you listen to Berlanga talk and you listen to Tio talk, you could tell Berlanga grew up in the culture. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
facts.
He says it differently than Tio says it. Tio says it with like a racist undertone. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like he says it. He says it
Blood
with
told
ill
your father
intention.
a goddamn drunk. Your father is a drunk, and
Yeah,
he
he
likes
is.
a little nose candy too. Let's call it what it is.
You right. But hey, I gotta jump off. I just want to jump on and say those. I'll be in the chat listening.
All right, babes. Thanks for coming up.
Of
But
course.
you know what I'm saying, Cam and Dre, like your father is
All
damn
right.
drunk standing up there at that press conference looking like Grandpa Gangster with his shades on. He got your belt over one damn shoulder and over the other shoulder with his shades on. Like, what are y'all doing?
It's just the Lopez's. I said the other day, their whole family is racist. They've been that way, and like KQKC said on his show the other day, they grew up that way. You know what I'm saying? That's they're part of their household. So, like I said, I want to see To get the pain put on him for this, for real. Like it's just time. Like, and I was thinking this too just now while we was chatting. If To get his ass whooped, then his value goes down, and then he's going to lose out on money and stuff. Because then he gonna end up fighting another guy, mess around and get packed up again, and then it's over. So so I'm all for Boots fighting this man Teofimo because if he destroys him, how I expect him to do so, his value gonna be down, and he gonna lose money from there. He already ain't making that much money as it is. He ain't even made over $1 million yet in the fight. You know what I mean?
He did say that, so that is definitely true. I don't really know. And then, like I said, when I was on that live and he was lying and crying and lying, and he was saying about Canelo how basically losing out on deals and how Canelo put them out the camp. But if I'm not mistaken, Canelo and them Ben wanted him out. They wanted him out so they could bring Ryan back in or something. And the deals that you're losing are because of your behavior. It's not because of they want to support just the black fight. It's like, bro, you say the most outrageous things, and you not that good no more.
Absolutely.
Like you ain't been that good
Absolutely.
since 135, and we keeping it a bundle.
Absolutely. And
You
like I
know,
said this on my show I said it last week, sis. I was like, Tio Fimo has put this on himself. You know what I'm saying? The reason why he's not getting the support and getting the big bags how he wants is because of the way he acts out here in the public. And it trickles down to his fighting, like I said before, too. He's inconsistent in fights. Fights with Sando Martin, inconsistent. On Jermaine Ortiz, inconsistent. Cambosis, he lost that fight to Cambosis, and he's still giving excuses about that. Just inconsistent. All of this shit has consisted to his performances and it's trickling to him outside of the boxing to where Teofimo's not a brand that a lot of people don't want to support right now.
Well, like I said, they should he should get the Boots fight, and pay him the money, but put all of those um, um, culture restrictions on him. You know, um, put him into a legal contract that will make his head spin for stepping out of line. Make him toe the line, and don't give him no room for error. Don't give him no room for slip ups. Don't give him no room for, I didn't say that. I said this. No, this is what it is. If we even think that you uttered these type of words on camera with a live microphone, you done. Um, it to make him realize that his actions have consequences. No bullshitting. This is what you in for. That's my 2 cents. And maybe I'm wrong, um, but I don't think so.
Nah, I definitely agree with that. They need to put some sort of restrictions on his speech and what he can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? The antics, like you said. And I don't even know if it was really him that sent those bananas to Keyshawn, but just the fact that you try to take credit for it, that's some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? It really was. So I don't know. And then the fact that he's now crying wolf or acting like he's just the victim, that really pissed me the hell off. You know what I'm saying? Tio, you're not the victim here. So I have no idea. But I definitely agree that he needs to get that fight. He needs to get his ass whooped. And then, like Cam said, there'll be really no use for him. Who else he gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? Who, besides the guys that he's going up to that weight class with? And those aren't even real big money fights unless maybe it's like Rolly because he has a belt now. Outside of that, I mean, like I said, I don't think Devin really got no work for him. And I don't, Ryan is tied up at the moment.
Devin ain't got no money for him. You got to have a promoter, and Devin don't have a promoter. Devin is, DHP. We're gonna sign to somebody. We're gonna make a fight. It's Devin's worth was found out when they had the purse bid for
Sandor Martin, the top right.
Yeah, Sandor Martin. Yeah, for the Sandor Martin fight. Nobody bid on it. Not even DHP bid on it. Come on, you can't.
That's why I hate the Devin fans when they always talk about him with the DHP and all of that. Like he has his own company, but he's not putting on his own event. So, like, bro, it's just a tax write off, man. It ain't about nothing.
It's another income stream. See, because you don't see Devin Haney don't get paid. DHP gets paid. So, and DHP will pay Devin Haney. So, but seeing how Devin Haney is DHP, he gets all the money. It's it's that extra 10% that he gets that he don't have to split up with other people. It's a marketing scheme. But he's doing it. So.
Well, wait a minute, because he does have a fighter. His fighter fights on Pro Box. So isn't that like a part of his DHP promotional thing? He get money off of that too.
He had two fighters, but Alicia Baumgartner's now fighting under the.
She's with MVP Promotions.
Yeah, she just went under Jake Paul's banner.
Right.
So so he does have a fighter fighting on Pro Box, huh?
Yeah, his fighter just fought. I think it was last week or the week before. I forget his name. You know his name, Cam?
I'm not sure what he got going with DHP because I don't see no motion with them. Like
Yeah,
it's.
no, he got a fighter.
I know he got a couple of fighters. I don't know their names though.
Oh, he got a couple of fighters. Oh
Yeah,
man.
he do. One of them just fought. What is that boy name? He fought on the pro box card. One of y'all in the chat, if y'all know his name, let me know, cause I forget that boy name, but he definitely do got a fighter. Oh God, what is that? D1. What's Devin's fighter name? He fight on pro box a lot. What is that Negro name? Jesus. Cause this is the second time I seen him actually too. He winning. He winning.
Let me see if I can Google it real quick. Fighters under DH.
Yeah, while we trying to look that up. But yeah, he got some little tired fighters, and cause I was watching the pro box card and I seen it come up under the boy name, and I was like, get out of here. I almost fell out my damn chair. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, so Devin Haney Promotions is associated with a few boxers.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney and Amari Jones. It says additionally DHP has
That's the
been linked
boy name, I think Amari.
Amari Jones, okay. Has been linked to other boxers like Rolly Romero, who recently defeated, but he is not he's not under Rolly not under DHP. And Tito.
D1 said he's not that good. He said he was an Olympian, but he's not. Well, oh, Jones, yeah, Jones too. Amari, and then Amari Jones. Yeah, that's him. That's him, Amari. Because I remember seeing that name come up on my screen, and then I saw DHP, and I was like, oh my God, he really do got fighters. He had another one too, if I'm not mistaken.
According to Google, Rolly's under his promotion.
No, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
That's not
but
true.
Amari Jones, it says, featured in a post by Snack Strong, indicating his connection to DHP and Snack's training program.
Snack, he on Snack too?
And he's under Snack. He is under Snack.
Oh my
I hope he's
goodness.
not working with Victor, but I mean that was something we had.
Oh yeah, I forgot Amari Jones is with Eddie Hearn now. I forgot because he's fighting. Yeah, he just did a couple of debut fights with Eddie Hearn. So,
He's
but I heard that he had a couple. I heard Devin had like one guy that was like in a higher weights, up close to heavyweight or light heavyweight or something like that.
but Amari definitely. And then so wait a minute. So he sent him over there to Eddie?
No,
Okay, okay, I see what D1 talking about. So Amari is Amari. He just fought on Pro Box recently.
Yeah,
So
I knew I wasn't
Amari
crazy.
Jones is the guy that's with Eddie Hearn, the other guy. It's two of them. It's one that starts with an O and one with an A. The one with an O is with Eddie Hearn. The one with an A is with Devin. And he just fought recently on Pro Box.
Okay. I knew I wasn't bugging.
yeah. See, so
Because when I saw that name, I almost fell out my damn chair. I was like, what the hell? Okay. All right. Wait, which one? Oh, and which one, D1? Is it the one with the A or the one with the O that went to Eddie Hearn? Because I thought Amari was still under DHP, the one with the A.
the one with the O went to Eddie Hearn. The
The
one with the
Eddie,
A
yeah.
Okay.
is under Devin Haney.
Well, the one with the A is still winning too. He's winning though. I don't know his level of competition. He might be, you know what I'm saying, fluff magic too, but let's take a look and see. Because oh my goodness, Bob Arum slams Devin Haney's disgraceful performance.
He slams who's disgraceful performance?
Devin Haney for a disgraceful performance, but Bob Arum is old big toe. Let's see what he got going on.
Yeah, let's see. Amari Jones, 13-0 with 12.
Yeah, he's 13-0. He's 13-0
with 12 knockouts. Oh man.
Yep, he's 13-0. Yeah, so maybe he's a pro box fighter. But they do a lot of work with the PBC, don't they?
They do a lot of work with everybody,
Okay.
because No Excuse Promotions just signed 3 fighters. Um, um, no, let me rephrase that.
That's Lamont. That's Lamont in the main it? No
Yeah, that's
excuse.
Lamont. That's No Excuse. That's their boxing gym. Um, but 3 of their fighters just signed with Pro Box. 2 of them signed at the last fight at the No Excuses event over here in Hanover, Maryland. So,
Okay, and they signed some of those fighters too.
oh yeah, because they signed 2 fighters out of the No Excuses gym at the Pro Box event that they just had, um,
Okay.
and they were on that card. Um, because I got to talk to them after their fights, their respective fights. Um, and one of them said, whatever. When I asked him about what he got coming up next, he says, whatever Pro Box got for us. I just got to sit back, stay training, and wait for the phone call. But he expects a phone call pretty soon, so he should be back in the ring in the not too distant future. But he will be back in the gym on Monday.
Amari is the middleweight, so let's keep our eye on him. See what he got going on.
Look like
Amari,
he got a good knockout streak, but
yeah, 12 knockouts, 13 fights. But who is he fighting? That's the thing.
well, that's what I was about to look at.
He's still, I mean, what is he fighting? 8 rounders now, so he's still new, I guess. He only 23, so let's see what he do. Shit, he got a better knockout ratio than Devin has. That's for damn sure.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And they got Andy Cruz fighting on Africa's card too on June 14th coming
Yeah,
up. So Andy
yeah.
Cruz staying active.
And Andy Cruz need to fight Keyshawn. He need to get it. Keyshawn need to get his get back. He needs to get his get back. But
Yep, and you know Andy Cruz. He's in the IBF. He's number 3 in the IBF. He's number 3 in the WBA. Number 1 in the WBC, and he's number 10 in the WBO for Keyshawn. So, ugh,
okay.
looking crazy a little bit. Like,
At number 10 for Keyshawn. Isn't that a coincidence?
yeah, man, that's nasty work right there. Like, I was hoping that Eddie would make that push for him to get higher in the rankings there. I mean, shit, Eddie done already done paid for other fighters to get on top of these rankings. Why can't he get Eddie Cruz on top of the WBO for Keyshawn title?
Well,
That's crazy. Well, look, y'all, we've been on here for about 2 hours. I'm about to wrap it up. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about before we get up out of here?
Shit, I ain't got
listen,
nothing much. Everybody just sub up to Sister Jab Queen Boxing for sure, and like and comment on the playback for sure, man. Support Sis, man. She definitely lit with the boxing content, man, and she putting on and got great opinions on the boxing game for sure. And sub up to KMJ Network as well, man. Sub up to your boy. We working as well,
Definitely.
man.
My brother be working over there. And I would like to apologize to everybody in the chat. It got a little ratchet earlier on my panel. I guess security wasn't doing their job. That disgruntled employee, Mr. Cash Crypto, will be spoken to a little later for his outburst. But that's about it, everybody.
And that's my dog. That's my
Coming up,
dog.
Big Dre, what you got?
listen. I just got to say, let's all support boxing from the beginning, from the roots all the way to the top. Let's let's support local boxing in your local gyms and local arenas. Um, Let's support the youth so that we'll have a sport that will continue. If you have not subscribed to Jab Queen Boxing for
Absolutely.
the best in boxing commentary from the female perspective, please do so. And don't forget to hit the Cash App at Jab Queen Boxing.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for stopping by and showing love. And we will see y'all on the next one. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.